What's going on, everybody? It is Coach Greg Adams back in here with another YouTube live stream. Shout out to the Coach Gang.
And that's you.
For being in here, being involved, and being active on this YouTube channel. Well, welcome back to Monday Night Rawski, the longest running episodic programming live stream here on YouTube. You in here with the Bruce Wayne of this ish, the King of Kings, the King of Content, and the Speaker of Truth, yours truly, the Notorious one, a.k.a. Mr. Coachellini, better known as the Prognosticator, Coach Stradamus. And you're in the Desert Storm bunker with none other than EWF. That is every woman's fantasy. But call me CGA, see God Allah, and I'll be the 12-time demonetized champion of YouTube. We got a great show for you lined up today. Why men should not do or consider 50-50 relationships, and we're going to use some data. I know people are like, Coach, you already thought. We're going to use some data, and we're going to look at if women prefer 50-50 relationships. We got men and women weighing in on this conversation, including some of our favorite content creators as well. Look forward to that coming up here and after the first hour into the second hour of today's show. Also, we have Cardi B's ex-husband Offset speaking out about why he left her in her marriage. All right, we got that coming up. And he's skedaddle. He's going to give us an idea of why he dumped that bitch, Cardi B. And we also have, what do we have here? What do we have here? Why do I have so many tabs open? We have weak parenting. Millennial women are now blaming their parents for their failure to launch.
And it's all Jermaine's
Right,
fault.
we got that.
It's always Jermaine's fault.
What a show. All right, what a show. And to contribute to today's show, $sign the Notorious CGA on the Cash App, Venmo, Coach Greg Adams TV. PayPal is paypal.me/Coach Greg Adams, and that is near the top of the description box on the Free Agent Lifestyle channel. And you can super chat by clicking the link on the top of the live chat on the Free Agent Lifestyle channel. We got that coming up and much, much more. Do we need Melanin Monday? We might as well skip Melanin Monday. All right, we only going to do it in the morning show because I got some shit to get through. All right, I got some shit off my, I got to get some shit off my chest. All right, that's what we got to do here. Let's see if I can get to the earlier contributors to today's show. How about we do that? Okay, wait a minute. What's going on? Oh, okay, I see he changed his name. I was like, what happened? All right, I was just a little confused as to what I just saw on my screen there. But he got it going on here. Let me see if there's any earlier contributors to today's show. Shout out to DJ B Fit. He says, I don't trust a bitch for ish. All right, but she still put this beef in that hole in her face between her teeth. Interesting.
It's barbecue in there.
All right, interesting. All right, but you trust her to do that? You don't trust a woman, but you put your meat in her mouth? I mean, that's interesting. Like for people, we had trust issues. We had trust issues, but you putting your salami in her wet piece. Y'all doing that? Going Rawski? They just be going Rawski. All right, on women they don't trust. We got to have a conversation about that, gentlemen. Shout out to Corey, says the Yob Mob in the building. Let's get to work.
New world
Let's
order.
get to work. We put in that work in. All right. Putting that work in, and let me see if there's any other earlier contributors to today's show. What's going on here? All right, what is going on here? I'm trying to figure out what's here. All right, I don't trust women. And you go Rawski in them. I suppose. All right. Shout out to our brother here. He said this super chat, this is Joseph. This super chat is going out to all you players, wannabe players, wannabe pimps, Mac daddies, or whatever you call yourself. I'm a player. All right, man, they players out here. And as I used to say, I'm more than a player. I'm more like a pimp. I love black, but I sure won't simp. All right. All right, so anyway, shout out to the brothers out there that are playing these hoes. I play these hoes like Sega. A lot of brothers out here that be out here playing. All right, shout out to the true players in the max. Hold on for a second. Let me see if this is right. Okay, yeah, that was earlier today. All right, let's get into the show. What is this part of the show? Because I'm going to riff today. This is, it's an evil world we live in. Okay, this is where we're at.
It's an evil world.
Right
we
into
live
it.
in.
All right, right into it. We'll keep the women for the earlier part on the shows. Today, we got to get into it, man, because I can't spend 20 minutes going through women profiles. All right, so what do we got here? We got It's an Evil World We Live In. A millennial woman speaks out and blames her parentals for setting them up for failure. What do you guys think about this? Let me see if I can get this up here. That's what he said. All right, it's an evil world we live in. Let's pop this up on the screen right here. Oh, look at this. This is a mess. Why is this looking like this? Hold on for a second. Let's fix it live. We'll do it live. This is already a messy show. All right, so here we go. There it is right there. All right, so this woman has something to say here. This is all jacked up. What's going on here? Okay, hold on for a second. This is a damn shame. I'm trying to get it up here right. That's what he said. Why is it looking like that? All right, there it is right there. You can see it. It should not look like this. Let me see if I scroll down. All right, hold on for a second. Oh, I know what to do. I know what happened. All right, I know what happened. We'll do it live. All right, so I'm going to make this window bigger. Let me see if that helps. Ah, there we go. All right. This show was already off the rails. All right, hold up. Okay, so here we go right here. We got a, let's see here. A woman says millennial women were encouraged by their parents to be more independent and wait to have a family, but now society shames them for it. All right, here we go right here.
I want to dismantle this thought that it's too late.
Yes.
Because I think that I'm a millennial, and like millennial women were really set up for the okie doke because they told us from when we were little, don't depend on anybody. Make sure you get your own. Always be independent. Go to college. Get an education. Don't have a don't put a man before your, like, we were hammered. The messaging was go to college, have something that you can stand on, and then think about a man and a baby. And a lot of us did that, and what that did was it made us older, entering motherhood. Our age, we started thinking about making a family later, and then I feel like we just got shamed on the back end, and we were like, wait a minute, but I thought this is what we were supposed to do.
And it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault.
Okay, all right. She passing that buck. All right, she said it's the parents' fault. And we know millennial parents are probably Gen Xers on the older side and baby boomers, possibly older baby boomers, but mostly Gen X. Our parents are millennials, the older ones, the ones over 50. I'm still under 50 as a Gen X. I'm on the middle to younger side. So essentially what she's saying is it's all her parents' fault right there.
And it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault.
All right, society shamed us for doing this, and I can't completely disagree with her. I think one of the things we have to look at is some of the things we still tell our daughters. We still tell our daughters these things. Okay, so when we're looking at what's happening in relationships, much of it is based on, you can really take this one thing, it's the age. Okay, the age. So the age where people married before was 20, early 20, 21, 22, male 24, 25. Now you have the average age as woman 29, male 32. And you can blame a lot of things for that. She's blaming the parents. All right. You can blame the economy if you would love to do that. We also can blame feminism. And there's a whole bunch of things that we can blame. And it is actually leaving men down bad because the men are having nothing to work towards. They're somewhat lost out here or confused. They're either participating in hookup culture or they're lost. They're just coming out here with hard dick and bubble gum. That's all they got. And when men are 24, 25, they're wanting to start their families and legacies. These women are like, let me get my career started first. And let me buy my first townhouse, my 1-bedroom, 3-bedroom townhouse. Let me get my first car. Let me get my finances in order. Let me pay off my student loans. And so then they come out here and they're saying, these men are shaming us. All right, it's a tragedy. These men are shaming us and telling us we're going to hit the wall, that we got to freeze our eggs. We'll have to freeze our eggs ASAPly. And so now we got these egg freezers walking around and they're blaming somebody. Now the parents are getting it. Now the parents are getting it. It's the parents' fault. So I get it. This is a new twist where the parents are getting the one. But we do hear men and women giving women bad advice. We call them the daddy simp. Daddy simp says, never depend on a man for money. All right, I'm going to raise you up so you can be an independent woman and so that you'll never need a man to depend on. And then guess what? She goes out in the world with that mindset and she ends up single. All right. And then the dad's like, when you going to settle down and have kids? You know, daddy simp sabotage. And of course, most people are what? Deaf, dumb, and blind. They don't know what they're doing. All right. And so a dad will say, I'll make sure I'm the best man to ever treat you good. All right. So that you never have to depend on a man to give you less or whatever they do. You know, these daddy simps. I did a whole show on it. So that goes along with the parents. They told us to be independent. All right. And now in our independence, we're getting shamed for getting married late and freezing eggs. We're getting shamed for being broke still and not being CEO at 32. And now we're out here looking for legit relationships. And as a result, we cannot find them because maybe we're too old or something like that. And now all of a sudden, guess what? There's a problem. All right. So somebody's got to be blamed for this. And it looks like the parentals are being to blame. Anybody agree? All right. Anybody agree with that? Anybody agree with her take? Where she blaming the parents? I mean, I believe the parents have something to do with this for sure. All right. We do have more parents being blamed. Gentlemen, you want a legacy? Be prepared to get blamed out here when you become a parent. All right. So what do we have here? This woman says right here, why childhood was never the same after the 1980s. Shout out to y'all. Are you 1980 babies in the house? 1980 babies, press 1. All right. 1990 babies, press 2. Millennial babies, press 3 in the house. All right. Let us know who you are watching today's show. You were born after the year 2000. Press 3, 2 if you were born in the night. Well, you could be a 80s baby and not born in that decade. It's really the decade you were a child. All right. So you're going to be born in the late 90s and be a 2000 millennial baby. All right. I was born in the 70s, but I'm an 80s baby. All right. But it says right here why childhood was never the same after the 80s. Let's see what we got here.
Interestingly, there were a set of changes happening in this country in the mid-'80s that conspired to, in the aggregate, change all of childhood. Stranger Danger was born with a made-for-TV movie, Adam, about the abduction and murder of Adam Walsh in 1983. Everybody tuned in for that show, and it scared the bejesus out of everybody. The Playdate was born in 1984. Parents started arranging play with other parents, deciding with whom and when, but also watching over it, hovering, micromanaging. Are they playing with the right things? Are they bored? Let me help them. The self-esteem movement, give them ribbons and trophies, certificates and awards just for playing soccer or just for swimming rather than for being any good at it. A Nation at Risk was published saying American teenagers needed to be, more high achieving vis-a-vis their international counterparts.
All right, they're going to make this. Why they put this song on the back of it? Damn, they're going to give me a copyright. Okay. Give me a damn copyright.
Needed more testing, more teaching to the test. All of these things meant that childhood was now watched and managed by parents. We also got safer in cars.
All right. So, Ninja, I was just talking about this. I'm trying to prevent the copyright, but I don't think it's an effort that's futile. All right. Wasn't I just talking about this? I was like, we put too many helmets on kids. We put too many helmets on kids. Remember, I was just talking about this? Man, look, she's saying it a little bit nicer than me.
With seatbelt laws and car seat laws and bike helmet laws and bicycles, we got safer in our transportation. It led to this mindset of you can put a helmet on them always. You can bubble wrap every aspect of their environment, prepare the road for the kid instead of prepare the kid for the road. Ooh. All of those things happened in the span of 3 to 5 years. Very
interesting there. There you go. Hey, listen, she agrees with old CGA. I told you we put too many kids in helmets. I know it was a little brutal when I said it. You know what I mean? It was a little brutal. But she's essentially saying, I love that at the end. You prepared the kid for the road instead of preparing. Wait, you prepared the road for the kid? What did she say? You know what she said. You prepared the road for the kid instead of the kid for the road. Essentially what's going on here is what this woman's talking about as well. We bubble wrap the millennials. That's basically what happened. We bubble wrap the millennials. And the millennials around here, they're upset. They're like, hey, what happened? We didn't get the world we were promised. So these people are in their early 40s, right? They're in their, as young as 32, as old as 42, probably as young as really 30. Okay, 30, something around that age, all the way up to 42. These are the people, workforce. These are our workforce coming in here. These are going to be our primary workers here for the next 10 or 20 years. Gen X, we getting old, y'all. We getting old. All right, these were the people that they said prepare, kid-proof your house so they don't stick a fork in the socket. All right, kid-proof your house. Make sure you watch over them. Give them something to do. Give them screen time. Don't let them do too much of this. Don't let them do too much of that. All right. And essentially, then when they get out in the world, they're flabbergasted. Okay, who's taking care of me now? Who's going to do what? Oh, baby, you on your own. On your own. Yep. Ribbons, participation trophy, anti-bullying campaigns. We really messed up, and a lot of people are seeing it now, that bullies were literally the people who kept balance. I know this is a tough conversation. Bullies keep balance in the entire ecosystem of the playground. Although, yes, they do take it too far. But there is always this trepidation, this fear of being judged. Today, not so much. People just go out there and they kind of do what they do, and we're supposed to accept it. Matter of fact, not only accept it, we're supposed to ignore that somebody looked like a freak. And they supposed to just get away with it because they're expressing themselves. But we often notice that these people they're not any happier. These people today, although they're expressing themselves, they're not happier. They're not better off economically. A lot of them aren't having better relationships. Most of them have false expectations and hopes and dreams. Most of them aren't completing. They have a failure to launch, and most of them aren't completing the life that they're supposed to complete. Right. So there is something to be said about the things that she's bringing up, and which changed it. The TV movie, right, where parents got scared to death about their kids getting kidnapped. Right. Your kid's going to get kidnapped and something's going to happen to them. And of course, we don't want kids to get kidnapped. So then it was stranger danger, and you had to organize your kids' play activity. If you have kids, you were constantly, anybody that has kids in this age group of Gen Z millennial, tell me if I'm not lying. Yep, they never hit their head, right? Be careful. Don't fall off the monkey bars. You're going to break your arm and your clavicle. Hey, man, back in the day, when was the last time you seen a kid in the cast? When was the last time? Back in the day, I hate saying that, but lots of kids would be in a cast. Fucked their leg up, broke their arm, separated their shoulder, fucked their whole thing up, and the whole school will sign a cast. Today, you don't see that many kids in the cast because parents today organize. Be careful, be safe. You're going to bump your head, and then when they're about to fall, you catch them. Right? You fall. Don't fall. You would have hurt yourself. All right, again, we put too many kids in helmets. Let them hurt themselves. Ninja off themselves at the end of the day. But anyway, the strollers, the car seats, all of these things, the protection, kids should drive in the back seat, right? Kids don't drive in the front seat unless they weigh 85 pounds, right? All of these things preserve lives, but it gave people more entitlement. So now they're entitled to this safety, and then people need safe spaces, and they're in their feelings about things for sure. Absolutely. And they have a false sense of accomplishment. People are entitled, and not only just women, these are men. Men have an entitlement. Really, the toughest part of the dating marketplace is this age men, the millennials, right? And women are supposed to be loyal, and they're supposed to do, bruh. What have you accomplished? All you coming in was dick and conversation. That's all you got, bruh. You got nothing else. And then when I tell you or somebody else tells you it's time to, you need to level up, they're like, oh, why? All right. When they put you on a skateboard with a helmet. All right. Who rides a skateboard with a helmet on, Ninja? All right. But hey, I mean, listen, your noggin is important. You don't want to bust your noggin on the concrete. So, yeah, I think this person right here, she's talking about stranger danger. And it's really a lot of shock value. Much of these things were monetized. Play dates. Oh, even sports and recreation. Sports and recreation. I studied this when I was in college. It's that kids used to organize the sports, and it was based on hierarchy for real. Like, you knew who was going to be who, and you knew where you could go. If you sucked at a sport, you could not play. You better go get better. Like, you couldn't play 21. If you sucked, you wasn't going to get the ball. Why don't you let Johnny get a turn? Ask Ninja. No, Johnny don't get a turn, Ninja. He need to get a rebound. No rebound, no play. And then if you can't handle the ball or a triple team, Ninja, you can't go between the legs, around the back, alley-oop. You know what I mean? Hey, you shit out of luck. You don't score today, sir. Get your ass off the court. Winners stay, losers go sit. But in our sports, when we were youngins, we didn't have as many recreational leagues. You might have had one at your local park and rec, maybe at the YMCA, but there wasn't organized rec leagues. There wasn't even club AAU basketball. There was none of that stuff. Not when we were a kid. Well, the reason why that came about is because of the unfairness in participation. So a kid would say, every night at lunch, every day at lunch, Dad, I go to school and I never get a chance to play basketball. Oh, I'm going to go up to that school. And then they go up to the school and say, hey, they need to be fairness in this participation. Okay. Same thing as if you have a team and your team is Park and Rec and the coach want to win. Oh, you know, kids play sports so they can just enjoy it. They don't care about winning. Guys, they used to preach this shit. Even when I was in college, they used to say that. Kids are happy with just participating. They don't care about winning as much as the coach. Ninja, what? You going 0-10? You don't think that's going to have an impact on the happiness of the kid when y'all getting y'all ass beat by 50 every night? Okay, yeah, that's going to have impact on your kid. And then you ain't barely getting off the bench, so that self-esteem going to plummet. So these are the parents controlling the kids. Oh, my kid doesn't care about winning. You, coach, you're bad because you care about winning. Ninja, that's what we out here for, winning. We out here to whoop some ass. We out here to kick ass and take names. Okay, so when the parents start getting involved, they start not only organizing leagues, and everything was organized. All the seasons and all the groups and all the jerseys. Everybody got a jersey. Everybody got their name on the back. Everybody got their name on flags and mouth guards. And all about, you got to get an equal playing time. You got to make sure the playing time's distributed equally. And then the parents is like, you didn't play my kid in the third quarter. These are all the kids. This is what's happening. And so the kids didn't organize themselves and get their own equipment and march down to the park or stay in the middle of the street. And the top kids didn't dominate. It was just everybody gets to play. Everybody gets to play. And everybody got to play somewhat equally or fair. It's got to be fair. This is interesting when we get into this 50-50 conversation because you see where we are. It's got to be fair and equal and equitable. Then the kids that are good have to go sit on the bench for this sorry ass ninja that you know gonna get the ball stolen, right? And then it's like you can't press in the third quarter. You can't press until the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. These are all the parents, and most of them loser parents. Let's be honest. Most of these parents that got these leagues organized and set the rules were the loser parents that didn't get to play when they was in school. So now they came in now because they got some control. I'm a parent. And I'm going to get on the parent board and I'm going to get on the rules committee and I'm going to be a referee. So we can't press in the second quarter until the fourth. And then they come in and ruin it. So this is where we're at. They come in and ruin the experience for everybody. School marm, helicopter parent. All right. And then you're organizing your kid's day by the minute. All right. You get 3 graham crackers and 2 hours of screen time. Right. They fucked it up for everybody. Now, the results, these are the men and women struggling in the dating marketplace if they are struggling. And now they're coming out here looking for equity and fairness, and they're looking for equal playing time and equal responsibilities and all of these things and chore charts. You remember like AYSO when they was in kindergarten, first grade? We don't keep score. Ninja, I'm out here with snacks and oranges and Capri Suns. I'm out here in the hot ass sun. We keep the score. Ninja, put the score up. It's 50-0 right now. Right? Talking about we don't keep score. It's 50-0. We kicking they ass. Oh, you guys are bragging. Bragging is not becoming of a nice adult. No, we bragging out here. Did you? We whipping your ass right now. Right? We smoking these fools. But they don't want to do that. They don't want to do it. And so this is what we got, the entitlement. The entitlement between people in this age group is a little too far and people are lost. So yes, this person got it somewhat right. So did this young lady right here, this older lady right here, saying things weren't the same. Childhood wasn't the same. But these are the same adults that we're dealing with here that experienced this in childhood. You literally got a trophy for coming in last place. All right, because your kid wanted a trophy. I wanted a trophy and they got a trophy. All right, yes, it's crazy. All right, what do we got here? That's an evil world. It is. Crime and Law CGA. We're marching on, y'all. This show is on hyperspeed. Crime and Law CGA. Oh, wait till you see this video, y'all. Wait till you see this video. All right. This is a video of an alleged brothel running in broad daylight out there in Arizona. All right, take a look at this hotel. We're not going to give you the location, but for education purposes, I know where it is. But these streets are cold out here, man.
In these streets.
And Punani got to get sold. Wait till you see all these young pieces of calico out here doing an honest day's work out here. Shout out to them.
When I start selling pussy, I don't want to hear it.
All right, and so here we go right here. Let's go ahead and pull these girls up right here. We're not going to give you volume, but this is allegedly a hotel, and oh boy. All right, somebody out here got something. Apparently, this hotel is run round clock, round the hours, and there's somebody out there about to fix us a bind and put some hands on hips. All right, shout out to him. Hey, man, why they showing him, man? Why they showing him luxurious rooms in the royal treatment in this brothel? This is a live brothel here on the bad side of Phoenix, Arizona. And there's some kitty cat out there here, little kitty cat.
Would you eat that cat?
Oh, man, the kitty cat is okay. Okay, girls out here putting in some work. All right, I see the girls, the little straggle-daggle. You got to watch out, man. They be out here working, putting feet to the concrete out here. Go ahead and fix us the little binds out here. We ain't giving you the location out here. Clientele is here. It says right here, it turns into a third world country right here. They got the gates up and look at them innocent girls out there. Look at them girls out there selling to get their biology books fixed out there. All right, there go an innocent one right there with that black hair. All right, daddy issues, I suppose, out here. They out here putting in a little honest day work out here. Meow, meow.
Did you eat that cat?
Handle your business, sister, out there. Get your work in out here. Oh, okay. We got gorditas and Latinas and ugly white girls. We got going on here. There they go. Oh, she waving you in. See, anytime a woman raise you over there, she wants something. She needs some money in her hand right there.
I got money.
All right, the streets is cold. Yeah, don't go over there, man. They go to, they out. Oh, no. They out here with them heels on. And they out here doing a little business out here. Check out the girls. This is on YouTube, so don't at me. Oh, they in these streets out here, man.
In these streets.
Ladies create a lineup in front of it. It is like it's done in Colombia. It's a little bit more expensive over here and other third world countries. And we breaking down out here, man. We break it down.
I looked at it as I have an ATM between my legs, and I'm just using it.
There it
All
is.
I gotta do is put my card in, and that's it. And put the PIN number. And boom, money. Just
somebody
right
gave up the location. Why you? Hey, man, don't let the Johns get seen out here. Protect these men here, man. They out here just trying to put in the honest day's work and get these hoes out here working. All right, man, look at her. Oh, she got, I like the braid. I like the long. Okay, little gordita. All right, little gordita, future gordita. Whose wives are these? These are some of y'all future. Oh, we don't want to show. Okay, hold on for a second. We don't want to give the location up out there. Y'all niggas going to be skedaddling out there. All right, but they out there. They got pogs. Ooh, they got pog. Look at that big pog out here. Now, these the girls y'all be thirsting on the gram. That's a big chunky pog right there. She got the big calves and the cankles. Oh, they got the address on the building. We don't want to show that. But somebody else husband up there getting some work in. Get it, shouty. Get it, shouty. Oh, came out. She done. Pogalicious done fixing that, getting that buying fixed. Oh, no. All right, she out here. Oh, it's a good night out here. They having a good old time. Business is booming. Peace leaf for sale out here, man.
I looked at it as I have an ATM between my legs, and I'm just using
man.
it. All I gotta do is put my card in, and that's it. And put the PIN number, and boom, money just comes right out.
They got money coming out. They excited about the day. They running it. They getting business done. They getting piped down viciously. There they go. Okay, we got, thins and thickums out here. We got thins and thickums out here. Fair use out there to the street lizards. Somebody else going to fix a bind out here. Shout out to...
I got money.
Oh, they going to get their bind fix out here. Okay, all right. Oh, she out here with the... Oh, is that a Ling Ling? Oh, Ling Ling. Is that a mulatto? I can't tell. Ling Ling. Okay, they got it going on. The girl need a little bit of... Okay. She got something with her? Look at Ling Ling out here, ass out and all that. Okay, she ain't got nobody with her. Okay, she going back in. Pippin told her to come back in. All right, we don't want to give up the location here. These girls doing an honest day work out here. They doing an honest day work. Business is booming. These ninjas coming going out here. Trucks, look at they lined up out there. It says when you go to Columbia, why go to Columbia when you have everything right here in Phoenix, Arizona? All right. Hey, it's out. Hey, man, look, I'm not saying I would go there, but hey, man, it's out here, man. We outside. Ninjas ain't cold approaching no more. Ninjas ain't getting in relationships no more. Women ain't either. They coming out here, they doing some work. And this is the oldest. Uh-oh, there you go right there. Look at Hector out there going to get him a little piece of calico. All right, look at him going to piece of little calico out there, man. Try to get some calico out there, get some little kitty cat.
Did you eat that cat?
Hey, man, it's all an honest profession. Okay, damn, that was quick, homie. That was quick. He done. Oh, look at them girls out there. Look at them. We got chunky gorditas. We got tortas on the menu right here. These are some real workers out here, man. Shout out to the girls out there. Oh, okay. We won't give you the location right there. They out there doing some work out there. They out there. A lot of trucks coming up. Ooh, we got a big thickums out there. Chocolate thickums. You better, okay. They getting in the car. All right, where they going? Oh, they going back to the hotel. All right. So woo. All right, they going back. Pimpin' Ben pulled the whistle on them. All right, boy, his business is booming. All right, they out here working, boy. I tell you, man. Listen, I can't do it, man. I can't give you the location, man. This time, it's wild out here in these streets.
I'm going to the streets. End of story.
Look at Snail. Look at Snooky. Oh, wait. We can't give you the location. Why they putting the location up, man? We can't be giving it away out here. They giving it away the location out here. Broad day. Ass out, bruh. Hey, they look like they want to be out there. I don't see nobody got them on gunpoint out here. They look like they want to be out here in these streets.
I'm going to the streets. End of story.
All right, these streets is out there. Look, is she a thinking right there, bro? Okay. All right. Oh, truck's pulling up. She a little bottom heavy right there. That's why they want an early terminate. Oh, there's another truck ready to go. All right. Ooh, we got, okay. Little Slimmy, clients book online, and they come to fix a bind out here. They coming to fix it.
I got money.
Ain't no victims out here. They volunteers out there, brothers. These are volunteers. They out here doing America's job out here. They doing the honest day's work out here. All right, early in the morning from dusk to dawn. Early in the morning from dusk to dawn. I'm not promoting the spot. I'm just saying you can find it on your own, brothers. It's early in the morning out here, and we need a bind to fix out there. She looking for crack rock on the street. Be careful with these dirty schizoids. Uh-oh, business is slow this morning. Right there, 24/7. All right, she got booty. Okay, ass cheeks hanging over. Okay, boy, I tell you, man, listen, it is what it is. Oh, man. Woo-wee. It's tough out here, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, man, check on your daughters. Check on them. And it's going on out here. All right, I'm not a guy that uses these type of locations out here. I'm not that type of guy out there. But look, she like, come on, let me fix them. Look, I got a question. Can you tell the difference? I'm gonna be honest with you. Can you tell the difference between these girls and any regular girl you see outside? Ladies, I want you to pay attention. When you're outside, let's say you go to a concert, a show, you go outside, the girls get dressed. Can you tell the difference between these girls and what regular girls are wearing? Just be honest, man. Be honest. Like, regular girls are dressed just like this. Am I tripping? Am I not lying? This is what regular women look like in America. There's no difference. There is literally no difference. This is where our society's going. All right, somebody said it's been seized by the feds. All right, we're just showing it. Thank you, man. The feds got them. Unlawful activity by the cartello. But today, there's no difference. It's impossible to tell. Most normal girls are wearing this. Trust me, they are, man. Listen, I'll be driving around Los Angeles and Vegas, especially in the lower middle class neighborhoods. Yep. Most of them, you cannot tell. This is the difficulty. But most girls claim they don't know this. Yeah, Angel Reese. Angel Reese had this attire on, and everybody's like, she had her ass out. So this is literally the standard issue uniform for American women. Almost all women are doing the exact same thing. So when they think, well, these guys are objectifying me, check them out. By the way, somebody said this hotel has been seized by the feds, by the FBI. This video was posted on YouTube 3 months ago. 3 months ago. And then the cartel has been, I guess, let me see here. Let me see what they got here. Yeah, federal agents seized and shut down the Royal Inn right there due to drug trafficking and other unlawful activities. Oh, like what? All right. What other unlawful activities here? Somebody got. There's the people indicted here. Fentanyl, methamphetamine, drug dealing. I don't see no punani dealing on here. Oh, man. It's crazy. All right, let me see here. Don't go there, man. Y'all gonna get got. We don't want you to get got. Don't use places like this. All right, what do we got here? We got Crime and Law CGA. Let's see here. You dodge a bullet. These are some of the girls when they get their heart broken. Right here. Here we go right here.
19 years of age. She called the front desk that she was a resident. She's now banging on a door.
Where are you going? No, I'm just the DA. She had come earlier while I was at the front desk, and she said that her and her boyfriend went through a breakup. Okay, so she's the non-resident. You're a DA? Yeah, I'm a DA. I work at the front desk.
Okay, well, I don't know what school this is. It says Hollywood Beach, Florida on her shirt, but apparently we got a flatback Kaylee. She's the DA or the resident assistant, I believe. And we have a straggle in the back losing her mind. All right, let's see what happens here on this video.
But yeah.
Hi, can you tell me what's going on?
This nigga got me f***ed up all the f***ing way.
This nigga has me! No! That is not what we're doing! Stand up, let's go! Stand up now! Get your stuff, let's go!
You Karen so much.
I said, let's go!
Oh, no. All right, so we definitely got a mulatto here. She definitely is a mulatto with those loose curls. This is not a full 100% black woman. It might even be a girl. This definitely a mixed girl. She looks mixed. All right, and Cameron done did her dirty. Cameron didn't hit that bottom. All right, and so what happens is when girls go to college, they get ran through more times in the Holland Tunnel. All right, and the top tier men, the basketball players and all these niggas, they run through them, hit that bottom. We got a whole big back out here too. That's a big back. Okay.
Big back, big back, big back, big back.
All right, look at that big back. That's a soft woman right there, bruh. Look at them shoulders out there. That's a big old mastodon. And somebody hit that big back's bottom, And most of the time, these young girls don't even need the bottom to get hit. It's just the idea of the guy they get to have. They think it's forever. But Cameron done hit that bottom or busted on that big back, and she upset.
Bro, they're dogs! They're all fucking dogs at the end of the fucking day, bitch! They belong in the fucking dog kennel, bitch! They belong in the dog kennel! Hey, that is enough!
Humanity.
Oh my goodness. Okay, she mad. All right. She definitely, look at them. Oh my goodness. Look. Oh no. Ooh wee. All right. That's a slop-a-lop. All right. She's sloppy already, bro. This is a sloppy woman. Okay. So she said these ninjas belong in the dog kennel. Somebody did her dirty here.
Kennel, bitch! They belong in the dog kennel! Hey, that is enough. I don't know what the problem is right now, but this ain't gonna help.
All right, so we do have part 2 of this video out here. We do have part 2 of this video here. Here we go right here.
Oh, the humanity.
You don't know what you're doing right now. I know I don't know what I'm doing.
What did you say?
What that mean?
She's speaking in tongues out here. Ladies, have y'all ever crashed out over some deals, Nick, like this? Yeah, he played her like a fool in the dorm. She came back from the dorm from class, and he was clapping somebody's cheeks. All right, that definitely what happened. All right, and she upset about it. She definitely upset about it. She losing her mind here.
Oh, fuck. I know!
Humanity. Contact the AOP.
Oh no.
Put your hands behind your back now!
54, hold traffic.
Never fall in love. Get up, let's go. Get up now.
Ma'am, how is she gonna get up? Listen, she said, the officer said, get up now. How the hell is she supposed to get up? Looking like this. I mean, she ain't got no leverage. She fat. Somebody said Florida Gulf Coast. All right. And then the officer mounting her and shit. Like, wait a minute. Where the officer, you got a little bit close right here. Let me see here. Oh, wait a minute. Where is it at? Right there. Yeah, man. I don't know about that, officer. Is that protocol? What is that? That's not protocol. Right. So he had to figure out how to mount. Look, okay, had to get in that. Okay. All right. Here it is right here. She going crazy. They're telling her to get up. The officer screaming, get up, is standing up. All right.
Get up now. Bend your knees. Bro. You don't need that shit. You don't need drugs. That's enough. You don't need drugs. You don't need sex. You don't need shit for your fucking self. Stand up. Are we done?
Oh, the humanity.
All right, let's take a look at this young lady. This is somebody's daughter, y'all. Oh, no. Oh, no. She got... All right, man. This is somebody's daughter out here, man. All right, somebody hit that bottom. And this is how the next thing you know, she going to be at the hotel in Phoenix. Right? She going to be at the hotel. All right, this is definitely a mulatto. You got to watch out for those mulattoes. They'll get you every time, man. What is going on here, bro? She worn out, breathing hard. Breathing hard. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Hey. When I'm going to tell you, man, this is, you know, because normally with these pants, she tucks her stomach inside the pants. So her stomach looks flat, but her stomach done fell out the untucking here. All right, but I'm going to tell you, man, a lot of these dudes be hitting these women. All right, these the Tyrones be smashing the hell out of these girls. All right, but she need to tuck her stomach into them pants. That's what they designed to tuck the stomach in. All right, so she possessed. This woman is right here going crazy. Crash out.
Are we done? Yeah, I'm done.
Oh.
Bro, these handcuffs hurt like a fucking bitch. I'm sure they do. Get these shits off me, bitch.
Wow.
Oh, shit. Fucking shit. Niggas don't do shit.
Oh, no. That was just... All right, do they have more videos out there about this right here? That's crazy, all right? Yeah, she needs some prayer here. She definitely was crashing out. Somebody done smashed that. She was calling men dogs and telling them they belong in the kennel.
Let's go. Go. They're dogs. They're all fucking dogs at the end of the fucking day, bitch. They belong in the fucking dog kennel, bitch. They belong in the dog kennel.
Oh.
Oh, the humanity.
All right. They belong in the dog kennel, man. Hey, whoever screwed her over, y'all ninjas gonna pay for that for the rest of your lives. All right, you definitely gonna pay for that for the rest of their lives. Oh man, be careful out here. What was this? Crime and Law CGA? All right, we had a full Crime and Law CGA here. Do me a favor, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Let me get some contributors to today's show. I'll stop the show so you can like the show. Coming up next, Offset breaks his silence on Cardi B, and he has some interesting things to say about his ex-wife in their loving relationship. The ladies are upset about this. They're irate about this. They're literally beside themselves about his commentary about his ex-wife. They say, how dare you talk about your child's mom that way?
How dare you?
All right, how dare you talk about your child's mom out here? We got our brother here, and it is Nathaniel. Nathaniel with the co-sponsorship, with the full sponsorship. A full sponsorship. Hey, coach, haven't donated in a while. Shout out to you. I had a reality check a few weeks ago. I had a torta that had a bush, no barbecue, and she didn't leave out here. Oh, no? Wow.
There's barbecue in there.
I felt like a hostage in my own room. Time to hunker down and focus on the money mindset. Thank you, CGA. Shout out to you. Had a whole torta. She didn't want to leave. All men pay. All men pay. Hey, man, nothing will make a woman leave faster than money. Nothing makes a woman leave faster than money. I don't know how it works, but they be ready to go. After that, they be ready to go. Right? Nothing. I don't know what's going on. Because look, man, when they want to leave and there's no money to leave, they be sitting around and they always, them tortas, especially them fat chicks where y'all be out there smashing. Them women know that you about to kick them out. So you didn't finish hitting it and you've been loving on her and growling and growling. You've been doing all it, all right? And you done got that nut and you didn't look at that. You didn't look at that hairline all the way down her back. That nasty pea sleeve. All right, and you finished that up. And then the first thing you wanted to do is leave. Nope. She gonna take her time. She about to take her time and collect her artifacts. All right, she's saying there, laying in your bed, putting a dent in your bed. She just, all right, and I bet you want me to leave. Nah, I don't want you to leave. You good, just, But it is getting kind of late. I do have to get up early in the morning. She don't care about none of that. She don't care about none of that. She about to get up all slow, lay on the bed, try to cuddle, all right, act like she going to sleep. Because that's your payment. Your payment now is annoyance. She about to annoy the shit out of you. Look, how much do I need to give you to leave? So she gonna get up, finally sit on the edge of the bed, doing a fixing her hair, looking on the back of the bed. I think I left the earring. I left the hair clip. I took my watch off. I lost the bracelet. Okay, she just sitting there at the edge of the bed like it's the Michael Jackson Beat It video. You like, man, beat it. Peace sleeve smelling up the room. You trying to open windows and shit, get a breeze in. You lighting candles. You lighting candles. You like, man, bitch, let me light this shit up. You trying to run the shower. And she like, oh, man, I don't know where my clothes are. I know where they are. I put them right here in this chair. They're right here. Everything's right here. All right. I folded it up for you. It's right here. All your stuff is right here. Huff, muff, just huffing. She get up. Finally get over there. Put her panties on all slow. You like, bitch, get out of here. Damn. Get out of here. And she put her bra on. She get that big ass bra. She put it on backwards. Hook. Turn that bitch around. Stuff her titties in it, taking her time. You like, oh my God. Can you get dressed any slower? Then she want to take a piss. Let me take a piss. She finally in there. You got a comb. She trying to fix her hair. Put her lip glop on. You like, nigga. Leave. Leave now. Oh my God. Get out of here. She's like, I know you want me to leave so you can call your other hoes over here. No, I want to go to sleep. Because I'm missing my post-nut sleep right now. You're actually killing my high. I could be asleep, but if I fall asleep, you'll be here longer. So I'm trying to get you out of here so I can go to sleep. If I do this another 30 minutes, I'm going to be up wide awake again. Just get out of here. Did she finally walk down the stairs all slow, gather? She get to the door. Oh, hold on for a second. Where are my keys? Oh, I got my keys right here. Yeah, bitch, get up. Just go to the car. And don't let the neighbors see you. Shit. Don't let the neighbors see you. And be quiet when you go outside, you bitch. No, I ain't walking you to the car. Get out. All right. Did she like, oh, hold on for a second. I left my phone upstairs. Hold on, I'll go get it. Hold up, run up the stairs. Then you come back down the stairs. She's sitting on the couch. Oh, God damn. You don't want another glass of wine? No. Leave. Then you start snapping at her. Damn. I mean, I'm mad that I gave you some. You're like, oh, just get your big chunky ass out of here. Get the fuck out of here. My God. All right. You don't got to be mean about it. All right, yo, man, that's crazy. Anybody else experience anything like this? Press 1 in the chat if you've ever experienced anything like this. Oh, my goodness, right here. All right. Yep. You don't have to yell at me. I just regret sleeping with you. I shouldn't have gave you anything. Oh, my God. Just leave me. She finally closed the door. All right. Ladies, this is what women, I'm sorry. Ladies, this is what men really think about you. This is what men really think about y'all. Just so y'all know, if you ever wonder what do men really think about y'all, this is it. This is it. Yep, she could knock on the door. I left my phone charger. I had a chick one time stay out in her car. She told me this later to see if any other girls pulled up. She says she waited in her car like 35 minutes to see if any other girls came in after her. I'm like, y'all some wild bitches, right? Oh, man. Anyway, they wild, man. But finally, they leave out the door. God dang. All right, anyway. It's crazy. Ladies, this is what men think about you when they hook up with you. All right, but the way I beat that is I pull out a couple big head hundreds. All right, so what I do, I went to Fixes Binds LLC. All right, I went to Fixes Binds LLC, and I basically be like, let's talk turkey. How fast can you get dressed? How fast can you get dressed? Let me see what. Okay, here. Put them clothes on. Dance. Hop on one leg, bitch. Put the bra on. There you go right there. Get the bra on. Let's go. All right, there, shoes. You got your keys? All right, here. Get out. All right. All right. Yeah, bye. See you next time. All right. I'll call you next week. They be like this, putting on the clothes real quick. They be doing the two-step and shit. They be like, get the clothes on. I'm like, damn. All right, you already leaving? Shit, I couldn't even, hold on, let me give you something. Jesus Christ. All right, dance, fool. All right, yep, tap dance. All right, here we go, bark like a dog. Here you go, you want a drink? I got some waters. Oh, you already leaving. Okay, there she go out the door. Zoom. All right, damn. Big head hundreds. All right, shout out to our brother Nathaniel. That was a sponsorship, so I gave him a little bit of extra. Indeed. It's the cheat code. It's the cheat code, gentlemen. They don't get dressed faster than when you got some money on it. All right, anyway. Shout out to our brother Joseph says, this old lady told me one time that I had a man who thought he was the world's greatest lover, but when you add his time up, he was just a 5-minute brother. Damn. It's cold. Is that a lyric? Most men are bad in bed too, so it don't matter. Is that some lyrics? All right. Shout out to our brother Kayla says blended families are a joke. They make no sense at all. People who get into relationships don't think they're up. They don't think that their kids can actually fall for one another if possible. The sex can't be considered, man, this is crazy, incestuous because they're not biologically related. I don't know how common that is, but I'm probably sure there could be some things. You got to watch your kids. You do got to watch your kids in that situation because they're not related, so anything can pop off. I don't know how common it is. I don't know how common it is. Shout out to I Need Money, says he hit that bottom on a slow Tuesday. He was out there with it. The Dictator says the San Bernardino ATM is located on 6th and G Street, just in case you need to get to the ATM. Oh, my goodness. Scope says check out Caleb Hammer's beta husband, Gold Digger's wife. I think I had that one, and then it wasn't what I thought. But is it a new episode? Let me know. Let me know. Somebody said it's common if they're old enough. Yeah, you got to watch out for that. I mean, I wouldn't. A lot of people trust their kids. And never mind. I was about to tell on myself, but I ain't going to tell. I was about to tell on myself. I ain't going to tell, though. We got, let's see here. Okay, hold on for a second. I don't know where I ended. Okay, the Real Fit Styles. It was good to see you, man. He says, yo, coach, great Money Mindset show yesterday. It was good to see you, man, on the Money Mindset. Good to have you over there and sharing your story. Man, Brothers was dropping so much knowledge on the Money Mindset. It was a great show yesterday. It was a great show. Great show for sure. The Real Fit Styles, an original Coach Gang member. Shout out to the resurrected Simp Enforcer coach. Did you see King Von's baby mama took the son out of football because the coach stopped all that before I put you with the cheerleaders? Something's missing there because the coach stopped all that before I put you with the cheerleaders. I think you meant the coach said, stop all that before I put you with the cheerleaders. She also tried to fight the coach. B-dubs or lost. I didn't see that, but it's King Von. I mean, it is King Von at the end of the days, or King Von's baby mama, so I can't imagine that she's the brightest bulb in the whole thing. Man, I got out of coaching really, really at a good time. Homer says kids athletics is also about learning how to win gracefully and graciously. Some people you don't want to talk shit to, for real. Man, I'll tell you, man. Yeah, the whole athletics thing is a learning experience for kids. And I think, you know, a lot of people, they used to have cuts. Remember when they used to have cuts and you get cut from the team? You really don't have cuts like that unless you're really bad. So, you know, and a lot of kids, like, they come out. I remember, you know, with AAU basketball, you had to be kind of like on the club team in order for you to get to the feeder program of the middle school and the high school. And a lot of parents didn't get the memo. And so they sent their kids out for middle school basketball. And I remember telling at certain schools, you ain't going to make the team. All right, if you didn't play with the club, you was probably not going to make the team. So I told some parents, I was like, did y'all play? I can't say the club team. But I was like, did y'all play with the Pee-wees? Did y'all play Pee-wee ball in 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade? And they was like, nah. And because they were mad their kid got cut in 7th grade, I was like, but y'all didn't play Pee-wees. And was like, that shouldn't matter. I was like, it matters. Like, that's the system, right? Right, that's the system, right? Like, you're not going to make the team because they've been having these kids play for 4 years under the coaches and the varsity players coaching. And then when you come out the tryouts and you got 2 days and everybody had a year, 2, 3, 4 years, right, in the program, your ass ain't about to make the team. All them parents is mad as hell. I was like, that's why I knew, because I used to coach AAU, I coached college, and when my son started playing basketball, and his mother fought me, man. My son's mother fought me. They don't need to be playing, and I was like, if he's gonna play in high school, he needs to play with this team. And it didn't make sense until junior high school ball came and my son was on the team. I was like, see? And all these people that didn't play the feeder program got cut. And parents were coming up to me, man, that don't make sense. I was like, I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules, man. That's how it works. And if you're in a competitive program, meaning your high school or your junior high school is a large high school and competitive, 100%. You're going to need to play in that feeder program or you getting cut. Right? You getting cut ski. You better be tall. The only players that made the team that weren't on the feeder program, the AAU, they were tall. They came in and they were already tall. Everybody else, if you was marginal, new, you got cut. Right? Anyway, cut. You got cut out this motherfucker.
Now I got to cut you.
It is how it works. Same thing with soccer. Same thing with baseball. You don't pay travel ball, good luck. Good luck. Don't think you about to come out there. Now, the only instances, if your kid come out and he tall and he can dunk, that's the only people getting it. Only people getting it. Now, if you went to some small school in Brownsville, Texas, it probably didn't work that way. But that's how it works, unfortunately. It's crazy, 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 man. He said, what about Jordan and AI? What about him, bro? What we talking about? What about Jordan and AI? I don't know what you're talking about. We're talking about today. Ninja, we're not talking about 1983. Right here. We're talking about today. We're talking about in today's world, today's landscape. Right now, dude, I'm telling you, they got kids, they rank the 5th graders. Certainly on the boys' teams, and the 7th grade girls getting ranked. They're ranking them before they get to high school. 100%. But you better be good as hell coming in if you didn't play in the feeder program. You better be good. All right, anyway, let's get in here. Did I get this, brother? Homer says kids' athletics is about learning to win graciously. Hey, nothing worse than, he says, Jordan and AI basketball started late. Again, bruh. That was what? 1991, 1989. Jordan was in high school in 1979. It is now 2024. You're telling me about AI who was in high school in 1989. In literally the 1900s. Most of the kids today do not start late unless they come from the Congo or some shit like that. And they long and athletic and they got arms to their knees. Right? These are the only people. But the days are gone where you could just start late. Unless you're just completely athletic. He said Ninja been in a coma. When was that? AI was in high school in 94. He like, what about Allen Iverson? Allen Iverson was literally the what? The top basketball and football players in his state in both sports. I think he was an athletic freak. He was a freak. All right. So yes, sometimes you have that. Most of these people ain't that. So anyway, and he says most tennis champions are 6 when they start training. This is a fact. My daughter played junior national tennis. My daughter played junior national tennis, and we did the whole Southern California circuit. She was ranked. All right. She hated every minute of it, but all right. But we got her ranked, had her out there. It was great for her, and she learned a lot of how to defend herself. But these tennis players, they be out there 6, and don't let them be Asian. Don't let them be Asian. They out there going crazy. Don't think you're going to pick up tennis in high school, right, and be anything. I'm going to pick up tennis. These players have been playing since 6. Tennis camp, tennis instructor, professional instructor. In fact, Venus and Serena, just as a point of contention right here, Venus and Serena went to go play for, I think, IMG Academy when they were 12. I think they were 12 or 13 when they went to go play full time over in Florida. I think it was IMG, but I might be wrong. So the whole movie about them and the dad helping them out. That was until they saw the potential and they picked them up right there, about 12, 13, and took them over to the academy. And one thing we have to understand about athletics is most people are going to develop young. That's the thing about athletics. I mean, most of us are not going to go NBA when we're 35. You got to be young. You got to be spry. You got to develop those things when you're young. And that's the whole thing. When I hear about children, that's a child, not these athletes. These athletes are starting young, man. You can't just start them at 14 and be like, all right, here's a tennis racket. Jesus Christ. My daughter was already ranked and was barely 12. And she started late. She started about maybe, I would say 2 or 3 years late. There were kids started way ahead of her. All right, but anyway, once she got to a certain age group, then it came down to talent and power in tennis. But yeah, that's the thing about it, man. A lot of people think they're going to start late. Most of y'all not going to be able to start late anyway. And yeah, those age groups, man, when you play U13, U14, you start going up a year, it gets serious, bro. It gets serious. That's when my daughter kind of bowed out when it got to like U14. Dude, I remember one tournament. I remember my daughter went to this tournament and she was starting to, like, she aged up. She started getting to the age where she was in the U15, U14. And I remember this girl, she got matched up. And you know how a year goes in kids. Like, you could be 14 and under, but you're 15, like you're barely 15. So this girl comes in and she walked in. I thought it was a woman. Like, that's how serious it gets, because these kids they're overdeveloped, they're big, and sometimes they're aging back or they're held back or they're mature. She walked in the previous year. We're playing against pipsqueaks and bird-chested girls. We're playing against girls, you know what I mean? The racket bigger than they, right? But they still good, but they whole racket is just big. Then you went up the next year and the girls came in like women. I was like, whoa. I was like, looked at my daughter. I was like, good luck with this one. My daughter actually did good against her. I thought she was going to get smoked. She actually did good. But what'll happen is the kids start getting bigger, 14, 15, 16. Now you're dealing with giants. And these are people who got not only the skill, but the size and the strength. Now it was a woman across on the other side. I was like, woo, wait. She developed. All right. I was like, this is going to be a rough one. You playing against an adult sized woman. So it got real quick. But people think they're just going to jump out there 14, 15, and 16 and start and pick up a ball or a racket. I'm sorry. This is a person that's been in athletics. It's not going to happen unless you're just a genetic freak. You got to be a genetic freak or just extremely athletic and raw talent. Other than that, give it up. Year by year, it gets real quick. Then don't even get to college, because college is a different beast. Then just be like, I was a 5'10" post player on your high school team. Good luck. Wait till you get to junior college or college. 5'10" is a point guard. It's no longer a post player. Right here. You're no longer in the block like this on your high school team at 5'10". When you go to college, you got to be 6'6", 6'7", 6'9", 6'10", and long-ass arms. 6'11" to hit the block. At 5'10", you're a small guard. I hope you know how to dribble, ninja. All right, anyway. Right. You a midget out there now. You was the biggest player on your high school team. Now you a midget in 1 year. Right. So, hey, sports is no joke. Sports is no joke. Anyway, somebody get this all caps ninja, man. Somebody get this. No, what's going on with the all caps? Let's get this ninja. Let's put them in timeout. Thank you for these wonderful chats, man. I love having fun during the evening show. Most people don't like it. All right, shout out to our brother here. It is Bob says, my favorite JUCO and my favorite JUCOs are the ones who have their own place, no hotels, often it's safer, and they are more reliable. It is great. I don't do the hotels in there. I don't do the hotels. Yeah, shout out to Wellness by Strong. My general rule is to make sure they're gone before the lights come through the blinds, LOL, Coach Gang. And some women know. All right. Yep, be gone before them lights come through the blind. I hope you got to go to work in the morning. Shout out to Chase, says, first time, long time. The Coach Gang is alive and well here in Newport News, Virginia. He says, I run into tons of other watchers. We'll be joining the Money Mindset soon. Keep it up, Coach. Shout out to you. And speaking of Newport News, Virginia, I believe that that's where Allen Iverson is from. Isn't he from that area? Isn't he from that neck of the woods? Shout out to you. We're mentioning your area. Thank you, man. Yes, a lot of people do watch the show. Black Gen Z, yo, Coach, I finally got a girl. She's pretty, but she's 5'1", 195 pounds. He says, I like the thick tine, but it's crazy that my last 4 girls have all been over 190 pounds. That's crazy. 5'1", 190. All right, is she a gordita? All right, that is a biggin. That is a biggin. Macaroni Tony, guys, he says, about to piss me off in the chat. You can tell who's never coached. He says, don't know how to rotate to the nail. Yep, he says, run floppy off a 1 high, a 1-4 high flat, or a 1-4 low flat. Or know how to help the helper. Shut up. Yeah, they don't know how to play no ball.
I'm red, baby.
All right, they don't know how to play no ball. They don't know how to play. They just can't read no screens. They just can't chase off people off the screen. Can't run them off the three-point line. Can't close out. Boy Wonder says, imagine that crash out girl flying a plane. Are they still running that DEI for black women running a plane? They were doing that for a while, too. They were doing that for a while, too. Shout out to Ronald Curry. Isn't he from Virginia, too? Ronald Curry? I don't remember Ronald Curry, do y'all? Ronald Curry was the man back in like 93. Ronald Curry, I think he was from Virginia as well. Ronald Curry, who else was out there? Aaron Brooks, Michael Vick, Allen Iverson. I think Ronald Curry was out there back in the day. Shout out to y'all out there. Shout out to our brother Maryland guy says, I'm 42. I remember the participation trophy stuff in the mid to late 1990s. I remember playing as a little kid in the late 80s and early 90s, and there was only first, second, and third. First, second, and third. That was it. That was it. I remember when I've played on this Inglewood YMCA team. And, man, yeah, I remember we was the worst team in the league, and I was seeing everybody get their trophies. Oh, I was crying. All right, anyway. Ronald Curry is not related to Steph Curry. Ronald Curry was a basketball, football phenom. I think Allen Iverson might have been in school when Ronald Curry was a phenom as well. Maybe Michael Vick. I think Michael Vick was a rival of, I want to say Michael Vick was a rival of Ronald Curry. They both came out. They both were seniors at the same time in Virginia. And Ronald Curry was the man in basketball and football. I think he played basketball at North Carolina and football. I think he was the starting quarterback at North Carolina in football, and he played basketball on North Carolina's basketball team. Damn, man. I mean, these people, phenomenal athletes. Phenomenal. And he was the player of the year in basketball and football when Michael Vick was playing football in Virginia. This dude, I mean, they had some phenomenal athletes, phenoms. All right, Ronald Curry was going to be the next best thing. I guess it didn't work out for him. It didn't work out for him. He didn't make it all the way. Yeah, them dudes are built different. And what do you call it? Oh, he went to the Raiders. He did. Did he play for the Raiders? He did. I mean, he got out there. He got out there. Shout out to Ronald Curry and Michael Vick and them. All right, anyway, enough about that. Let's get to the main event. It is time for the main event. Main event. All right, shout out to y'all. Hey, do me a favor. Hit the like button. All right. Oh, this ain't the main event. It's Crime and Law CGA, or it's Offset. All right, we'll call it the main event. Offset. It's Offset right there. There she is right here. I got to be careful reporting about this story here because Cardi B likes to sue people. But there she is right here. Apparently, Offset has broke his silence about the relationship. And this is indicative of the modern woman. As you guys know, Offset was married to Cardi B, and they have recently been divorced for the 11th time. He's a rapper in the group the Migos, and he was making more money than her, and then she started making more money than him, and then she was cheating on him, and allegedly then she was pregnant with this child and said that somebody hit them skins. Somebody busted a nut on her little baby's head. All right, so really, really toxic type relationship that Strags and Skeezers typically follow. And it says Cardi B doesn't know how to, this is according to Offset. Cardi B doesn't know how to cook. She can't even boil water right. She isn't even good in bed. Sorry. All right, so all of these women talking about they WAP and what they do, and she got a lot of mouth. She looks like, well, this is according to him, that she's not good in bed. And let's just say, a personal opinion, she's not attractive. So you put that on top of it. You take off all this hair and makeup, she's not even attractive. I mean, that is even worse about it. According to him, I left Cardi B because I was tired of pretending. I was tired of eating tasteless food and lying to myself. She isn't even good in bed. And that's why I'm always cheating. Okay. He says, I want to be honest with myself. Cardi B talking that ish about me, but she can't do anything right. We men go through a lot of marriage, but the fact that we decide to stay quiet, I think it means quiet. Stay quiet is making ladies gain public sympathy. Men survive the most in marriages, but we choose to remain silent. If you can survive in your house with a woman, then you're good enough to survive in hell. Oh my goodness. Yikes. He says right here, I know what I was going through. This is according to Offset. This is Cardi B's ex-wife revealing as he lost a video of him pretending to like Cardi B's food. I don't have that video, but he said he lost it. Woo-wee. Damn, he came out with the whole rap right there. Jesus.
Pop, pop, cut, cut, cut. Skitty keep pop, pop. And a pop, pop, boom.
And of course, when men are the aggressors coming out about their relationship, they just tell you to be quiet. Now, just be quiet. You're out there, you've been in her hair, you've been hurt. And he's like, I suffered. You guys don't know what I went through. Men suffer in relationships, and they act like you were the problem. He was them, and he did on me, and you were financial abuse. And he was like, I refuse to stay quiet. I suffered in this relationship. She sucked in bed. These are the people that think these people are out here in relationships. He was like, man, look, no. She was terrible in bed and out here talking about her wet ass punani. Talking about, I don't cook, I don't clean, I don't do nothing in between. And he probably was like, she probably don't write her raps. I don't even know. Does she write her raps? He probably wrote them too. Right? Came back, said, I was tired of eating tasteless food, according to this report. Tasteless food. Man. And he also says right here, she couldn't even boil water. Right? So how did you get the tasteless food out of there? I knew this woman. She was a nice little flatback Supreme. She could not cook. It was amazing. That bitch was a Tombstone pizza cooker. She was Miss Tombstone Pizza. Every time I went over there, flatback, she had some kid. Every time I went over there, that bitch was dino chicken nuggets and pizza. She know how to warm some shit up. And she had some good old reckless, crazy punani. All right, she had that good old crazy. Now, I've noticed this. The women that know how to cook, oftentimes they ugly. Wait a minute. I didn't say that. I'll say this. They're less attractive. This is all Offset saying this, by the way. I didn't say it. Somebody said she don't write her lyrics. This is all alleged. But most women that know how to cook really aren't that attractive. Let me give you an example of this. Let me see if I can pull up an example. Ninja's about to be starving here for a second here. I do have an example of this. Let me see if I can pull it up. This is not always, though. This is not always. So please don't at me and say, Coach, you tripping. I got a beautiful woman that knows how to cook. But the more beautiful she is, the less likely she knows how to cook very well. All right, the uglier she is, the better she can cook. There's exceptions to the rule, yes. But this is things you can't really rival this. So if you guys want a woman that know how to cook, just expect her to be several rungs down the ladder of attractiveness. It's a trade-off. Oh, but yeah, Cardi B is not attractive. So what am I talking about? Well, it doesn't mean because you're ugly that you know how to cook too. But I'm just saying in general. It's hard to, let me see if I can pull this up. Where's the woman at? Okay. I don't know where the video is. But the less attractive she is, let me see here. Where's the pic? Where's the video? I had this paw cooking in the video somebody sent me. And she was cooking up a storm for 2 ninjas. All right. And I was like, yeah, that's what I thought. All right. Enough about that. We ain't going to find it. Main event. Let's hit the thing here. Should men do 50-50 relationships? 50-50 relationships. Let's get into this conversation right here. I did my darndest to try to find a video of a woman agreeing that she would like a 50-50 relationship. Now, we're going to give you the pros and cons. Should men do 50-50? We're going to listen to several people voice their opinion on what 50-50 looks like. Let me do a poll right here. Let me do a poll. Do you prefer 50-50 relationship? Even if you're a woman, you can vote on this one right here. Now, I'm noticing most men that are young, in the younger generations, they're hoping they want to do 50-50. They're like, I want a woman to contribute equally or contribute some money into the relationship. You know, there's a talk about this 50-50 thing. And we're going to look at people's responses to this, men and women, of what they're expecting here in these relationships. Now, I've heard Abby and Preach were talking about this recently today. And they were saying men in the manosphere seem to have control issues. I'm paraphrasing. So men in the manosphere have control issues. They're always trying to date younger women, control. They're also trying to get women that are not financially suited, right? They can't support themselves. So control. And then he said fobby. Women that are fobby, like fresh off the boat, like linglings or passport girls or passport bro type of thing. So that was one of their criticism of the space, is that men in this space are always fantasizing about a woman they can control, doesn't have money, young, and also imported. So that was their criticism. I mean, if they're being honest, that's what their criticism is. I believe that they're not being honest. That's kind of their shtick. They're saying that to their constituency as to have them disagree with the being anti-red pill. All right. So anyway, the 50-50 kind of ideas where men are not well off, they might not be making money, and they're trying to find their way to get towards their goal to get a woman. And so one of them is either living under the woman, where they'll date an older woman and live under her, or they'll go 50-50. They'll assume that the woman's going to contribute somewhat into the relationship, right? So that's kind of how men are going. And because they have no other ways or means to get anything, all they're coming in was with mouthpiece conversation and dick, and that's it. They don't have nothing else to contribute to the relationship. Their finances aren't there. So men do pursue a 50-50 relationship. We got 85% of people that said they would not like a 50-50 relationship. Let's take a look at a couple of things here. You should find this interesting. Here's an article of one thing that I warned about 50-50 relationships. It says right here. And I'm right here. It says, I can't afford to move out. When my boyfriend and I broke up, we're still roommates a year later because it works for us. I mean, I could dive into this article. Maybe I'll come back to it. There's a picture right there. This is, to me, an indicator of someone that went into the relationship where the woman contributed somehow. When the relationship broke up, now we got roommates. So people are going to make this point quite a bit when you get to the 50-50 conversation, where even though the finances no longer work out, meaning that neither one of them can afford to leave, they are dependent on each other financially. Now they've split the bills down the middle, but they still have to live together. And they're saying they're making it work for them. It says living together has its challenges, but it has helped us avoid spending too much money. A year later, we are still roommates after setting some boundaries and saving money. Somebody with the all caps. You're getting sniped because of the all caps. So say it without the caps. Let's go to the next one, and I'm going to try to get through these quick. This is an article by Coach Corey Wayne. Says, and he's I don't know, would you describe him as a dating coach? It says, why 50-50 pursuing always leads to the friend zone. All right, so you got this one right here. So Coach Corey Wayne says why 50-50 pursuing always leads to friend zone, and couples become platonic roommates instead of passionate lovers. All right, so this is another person yet agreeing, and he's talking about he has a newsletter, and there he is right there. It says right there, 50-50 always leads to the friend zone. Now, we have another article actually suggesting that as well. Roommates. All right, friend zone. This article says, and this is by, I can't see who the author is. Do they have an author? It says why 50-50 in relationships isn't possible. Right there you go right there. It says Disney High School Musical has pretty much screwed us in the terms of relationship expectations. I mean, if you don't meet your soulmate, okay, we're not going to read all that. In the age of split-second swiping decisions and terrible Tinder dates, you think that we would find a real relationship. The hard part is over. It says right here, as your self-proclaimed fairy god girlfriend says, it's my job to give it to you straight. Relationships are hard and takes effort to make this thing works. One of the biggest misconceptions is that 50-50 is the way to go. And I'm here to tell you that it won't work. Sorry to break it to you, but 50-50 relationships don't work. Okay. By the way, just so you guys know, I literally tried to find articles of women supporting 50-50. All right, I set out on Google before the stream. I was trying to find articles of women saying, yes, I want 50-50. Now, we know there's power couples and we know there's women that do this. They call them partners. But I believe this is a woman and said, no, she's going, no. It is unreasonable to expect that 100% of the time you will be able or willing to do half of everything in your relationship and expect your partner to pick up the other half. For example, if the rule in the household is that the husband cooks in the kitchen and the wife cleans up the kitchen, that would be an example of a 50-50 partnership. It's certainly fair, and sometimes it should be easy enough to keep up with, but life doesn't work like that. Let me tell you, as a person that has lived with several women, and this is my own anecdotal, there's no such thing as 50-50, not just on the money, but on the duties. There's no such thing. Okay? There's no such thing. This is a myth. All right, it's hard. The only way you can do it is if you have the woman chart out who's doing what. The woman charts it out. Because you ain't petty like that. You ain't petty. Trust me. You ain't that petty, bro. Every time you fold a sock, you're going to give her a mark. She pettier than a motherfucker. She going to chart every time. And there's going to be something else that comes with that. Hey, what happened to my video?
Some of us.
All right, so this woman says right here, before we get to that, that's going to be in the affirmative. We're going to give you this article right here. It says, are 50-50 relationships fair for women? A sociologist weighs in. Now, this one says it's complicated. This is Crystal Cho. Crystal Cho. A Ling Ling. There's a case against 50-50. And then she makes a case for 50-50. Maybe we'll pull that up later. Remind me of that later. Here's another one right here. Why 50-50 relationships don't work. This is by a male, Chris Loper, and this is a recent article, June 30th, 2024, and he talks about why there's trouble with 50-50 relationships. And he says right here, it's human nature to be biased on your own social contributions. Because of this, you probably, number one, think that you've done more than you actually have. Number two, think others have done less than they actually have. Number three, think your efforts are more skillful than they truly are. Number four, think your contributions are more valuable than they truly are. And I'm not pointing the finger at you personally. Everyone does this unconsciously. Now, consider how this plays out in a 50-50 relationship. Both partners think they're doing more than their fair share, even though they're not. 50-50 ends up being 40-40, and 20% of the shared work doesn't get done. Worse still, both partners think that they've done much more than enough, and it's the other person who needs to do more. This leads to an acting entitled and feeling bitter. Even if we weren't biased, when you bring a 50-50 mindset into your relationship, you're setting yourself up to feel resentment if the other person doesn't do, quote, their half, unquote. This resentment can easily lead to arguments involving what marriage expert John Gottman called the 4 horsemen of divorce, which is criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling. When marital interactions frequently involve these 4 elements, divorce is likely. Now, here's the thing. The reason why I'm doing this is most of the time, I've already said what I needed to say about relationships and marriages over the last 7 years. I try to let other people talk, right? I'm trying to let other people talk because you already know what I'm going to say right here. 50-50 is a farce. Trust me. If my opinion is this, if you're keeping score in relationships, your relationship is doomed from the start. All right. The reason why I'm saying this is because let's go back and consider these women here. All right. Let's go back and consider these women out here.
Shut up!
Not these women right here. This woman. Or they're like right here. Women say millennial women were encouraged by their parents to be more independent and wait to have a family, but now society shames them for it. These are the type of women out here and men in this age group that are trying to pull out 50-50. And they try to make it work, and they try to pull out charts, and they try to have conversations and communicate and maybe go to marriage counseling. And you will find it's a wrap. And they will play this game, and then all of a sudden somebody's going to feel like they're doing more than the other. So as you can see, the earlier words of this article was framed in responsibility. Responsibility. I didn't hear anything about money yet. So let's get down to the money and see if this is a favorable thing related to you right here. All right, so we have this woman out here. She says, why I don't agree with 50-50 relationships. And yes, I tried to find women that agreed. All right, so let's see what she has to say.
Hello, my dear ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my YouTube channel.
All right, shout out to this woman out here. Shout out to your YouTube channel. Here we go.
Today we're going to talk about one topic that is quite a trend among women and men nowadays, and this is 50-50 mentality. So I personally don't agree with this kind of mentality, and I would like to show you my point of view on it and why I believe that this is not really benefiting our relationships. So what is exactly 50-50 relationship? So this is a relationship where you basically split everything on half, which means you split the bills, you split the housework, you split the bills for the car, you split everything, so it's fair. But one thing that it's not really fair in this relationship is actually that it's not 50-50, and it will never ever be 50-50, especially not for us women. Just talking about having everything splitted and doing everything equally gives me the vibes of some kind of roommates living and not living with your partner. This is one thing that I just cannot accept because my partner is not my roommate. He's my partner, and I feel also certain attraction toward him.
All right, so here it is. All right, her main point and premise, okay, is that it favors 50-50 doesn't favor the woman. Now, we're going to hear men say it doesn't favor them as well, so buckle your seatbelt. Hang tight, I should say. She's saying it doesn't favor the women. The women, in fact, then say, if he's not doing his half or doing what he's supposed to, I'm going to lose attraction. Now, this is when it comes into the money. When the money comes in. Now, this is going to be also a problem, a conundrum. Because then if you have all the money and she has none, then you have a power dynamic. So this is an old situation of you can't win.
You can't win.
All right. You can't win. All right. So for a lot of guys, you will find that the woman says, hey, you have the advantage and leverage because you have the money. All right. And they'll try to figure out how to make that work. And hopefully you'll agree to a effed up deal where your money is their money and her money is her money. Right. They'll try to get you to agree with that.
And with that, I completely lose the attraction because it's very, very neutralized. The problem in our society is that we equalized equal pay, equal human rights with our sexual relationships, because this is not the same. We have differences. Me as a woman and you as a man, we have differences. And those differences complement each other. And that's the point also of a relationship, that we complement each other with our differences.
All right, yin and yang. All right, so listen. Here's another thing that you didn't think about. Let's take the pay off of it. She's also said, I'm going to lose attraction. You guys don't know, when I talk about how men make marriages work, you have to beta male yourself. That doesn't mean you have to be a total beta, but you have to beta male yourself a little bit. Why? Because you're going to try to do this 50-50 and help around the house. You will find that women find men attractive that cook, clean, and take care of their children, except for your wife. I'm going to say it again, and I want you to listen closely. Women like men who can cook, clean, and take care of kids. The only exception to that is your wife. When your wife sees you in the apron, when they see you out there folding socks and laundry, when they see you doing things that we've identified clearly as what we would say is woman's work, but now we say a woman can do any work. But when they see you out there in the apron and they see you out there doing shit with their kids and they think you're a good dad, this bitch is, respectfully, the woman's vagina is going to dry up. Dry up fast. Now, a woman outside of your marriage is going to find you attractive because she's not dealing with men that would be willing to do that. So she's going to be like, he's such a good father and he knows how to cook and he knows how to make salmon. What a wonderful guy. But your wife is going to dry up like the Sahara Desert. You ain't getting no great peace leave doing that shit all the time. And so people want to disagree with me, but that's what she said. I'm going to lose attraction for you. That's not just because of she's paying some bills. That's one part of it. She's also saying it's going to make me feel less attracted to you, male-female dynamic. I'll play it again just so you can see it and hear it. She said that, and there's multiple people that are going to say that.
This is one thing that I just cannot accept because my partner is not my roommate. He's my partner, and I feel also certain attraction toward him. And
I feel certain attraction towards him. When they see your ass bitching up, they gonna lose attraction for you. Sorry. It might seem like, chore play, I'm more aroused. You have goofy ass women are more aroused when they see their husband cooking. Keep doing it. She gonna dry up. She gonna want an alpha male after a while, especially if she gets off birth control or some shit like that. This is when you find out she cheating on you and the second kid ain't yours. Okay? She loses attraction. All right, so let's go to the next person out here. This is Steven Speaks or Stephen Speaks. And he's being interviewed by the other brother here, this white guy. I can't remember his name. All right, but he's very popular on YouTube. No disrespect to either one of these brothers. Here we go.
It's 50-50 in the relationship.
All right, I see I'm on chipmunk mode. I was getting myself ready here.
50-50 spending, 50-50 taking care of all responsibilities, 50-50 taking care of the kids. Why is this 50-50 thing been so prominent, and why does it not work for both men and women?
All right, so as far as why it has risen to prominence is, again, I think it's this fight for equality. We're fighting so hard and we're losing sight of the bigger picture of balance. Balance is what we need for success, not equality in a relationship. And I would argue that equality in a relationship does not actually exist. Because if you were to examine 50-50 relationships, what you will find is over time, it's going to shift to one person doing more than the other. And I would argue 90% of the time, it's the woman doing more than the guy. Because think about this, the mindset of the man who wants to do 50-50 is very different than the man who's so in love with this woman that he wants to provide for her.
All right, his position, not a surprise. He says the woman's gonna be doing the bulk of the work. Now, again, that's his demographic. That's his opinion. I don't agree with that. All right. But in many instances now, he's saying the man wants to provide, but the woman's going to be doing 90-10. That's in the duties. What about the money? What about the money? Okay. The money situation. Let me see if he clears that up because he's talking about provision.
His willingness to even accept 50-50, he's gonna be reluctant to do that. It's kind of like going on a date with a guy and one guy's down to pay Dutch and the other guy's like, don't take your card out, I got this. They already have a very different mindset. So that guy who's open to 50-50 from the jump, the chance that he's gonna change later on and wanna take on more is not likely.
All right, so then there's again right there, you start off 50-50 from the jump, he's gonna expect 50-50 going forward. He's not gonna turn into provider mode. So that's a guy that's disagreeing with 50-50. We also have a woman disagreeing with it. We have a male disagreeing with it and saying the woman is actually being put in a worse position at 50-50. Now let's see here. Let me see if I can let him cook a little bit more. Let's see what he's saying here.
He's gonna get comfortable in that 50-50 or do even less. Also consider this, even when we say 50-50 on the bills, 50-50 on the bills, in my opinion, would be 20% of your income, 20% of their income. That's not what a lot of people do. The mortgage is, let's say, $1,500 and we split it 750, but the guy, let's just say, makes $80,000, the woman makes $40,000. Right. That's not equal.
Oh, man. All right. WNBA argument there. All right. So that's what Gabrielle Union did, if you don't remember that. Gabrielle Union has supposedly a 50-50 relationship with D Wade. But she said if her movie flops, she won't be able to afford the 50-50, and she didn't know what to do. But she's a feminist, right? So she was trying to figure out, how am I going to balance this independent woman and I can do for myself but my argument was that how many, right? I'm like, how many movie roles Gabrielle Union got left, right? To make this 50-50 relationship work. Whereas D Wade made way more money than her by leaps and bounds, and he's going to continue to make more money than her. So this woman's in her early 50s trying to get naked and got her soggy titties on the internet. But how many more movie roles do you got that you're going to headline, that you're going to keep your money up? So the rest of the marriage, D Wade going to have to pick up the rest of the tab, which is not a surprise because most women after 55, their income declines significantly. This is all women. Their incomes, their peak income, they've already hit their peak income. This is in general, as a group, collective. So now you were in a 50-50 relationship financially, and then now you hit 50. Okay, you hit 50 years old, and the income goes, psh, all right? And then now she's like, oh, you got to pick up the pieces to make this relationship work. That's why I don't think, enough of what Steven said. Steven said, it's not fair because he makes more money and she makes less. It ain't fair because I have to make money longer than women have to make money. So that doesn't come into play either. I'm going to make money until my mid-60s. She's going to stop making her peak income, generally mid-50s, early 50s. So now where's the 50-50 dynamic now if it was 50-50? So he's saying it's unfair to the woman, but long-term, I think it's unfair to the man. And then you're going to have to pick up the pieces in terms of investments and retirement and shit like that. And don't get divorced. We might not going to bring up divorce yet. So let's go to the next gentleman on this conversation and look at that. That's our boy ABL. He probably on the live stream right now. We got Uncle ABL in the building, a legendary supporter here. Go subscribe to his channel. In his new channel, Uncle ABL. This is what ABL has to say about 50-50 relationships.
I don't believe in the 50-50 thing, but see, okay, now I got to talk a little bit. So sometimes when a woman hears that a man does not do 50-50 and he pays all the bills, what she thinks is, I do nothing. I just sit on my hind parts all day and eat and get fat and everything else. I'm like, no, we ain't doing that. Check it out. What I'm going to do is I take care of all the bills. Don't even worry about it. But you're going to work. You're not going to be just in the house chilling. And they say, oh, well, I'm a homemaker. Look, you can run a vacuum cleaner and a washing machine. You pushing buttons. You ain't doing nothing all day when the kids at school. You chilling. Mm-hmm. Okay. I need you to be doing something. You don't got to be like a doctor or nothing like that. But okay, if I met you and you were a nurse, all right, I'm going to need you to keep doing that. You don't got to be full-time, but still do something. Don't be in my face all day. Don't be just at the crib laying, getting fat. Do something. That's the main thing. So I'll take care of all the bills. Don't worry about it, but you're going to work.
All right. He said, you better work, bitch. You better pay your bills. Now, the only thing I have wrong with that, with ABL, I do have one bone to pick with that because he's saying 50-50. Oh, sorry. He's saying, I'll take care of 100, but you ain't going to be laid up getting pampered over here. Going to Pilates at 11, going to see your massage therapist at 12, going to fuck your personal trainer at 1, you know what I mean? Having coffee and tea. Well, if you're going to be doing this right here, you're going to be doing this, she should actually be busy, right? You don't want to be having her laid up getting fat, which not a lot of women do. If you actually have to understand most of these dynamics where the man supports financially 100%, the woman is actually doing something. Like, she's going to do something, like whether she's the president or vice president of the PTA. A lot of these women are the team mom for soccer, the classroom mom at their elementary school. So that is a part of an important contribution, although, you know, it could be positive or negative as well. Therapy at 2. Now, if she's working, here's the problem. Where does that income go? Does it go into the common bank account? Does it go in the money she only controls? Because if she controls that money, then you have an unfair dynamic, in my opinion. If she controls that money. So you're paying for all of the expenses, but she takes that money and that's a safety net for her. And that could lead her to jumping on you if the relationship if she figures out there's no power dynamic. Remember, we're being accused of being control freaks over here. But we're not being control freaks because when it comes to divorce, nobody hollers 50-50. They hollering, I'm getting everything I got. I'm getting 80% of the custody. But that's just going to allow her to have an exit plan when it doesn't work for her, if she has control of that money and you don't. So he's saying, I'll pay the bills, but you're going to work part-time. Where does that money go? It's going to be a problem when you have this conversation with modern day women. They're going to want to control that. And then that's going to be her safety net to skedaddle. All right. It will. She'll stack that money. All right. Let's see here. Now, we haven't got to the relationship where the woman and the man makes the same money yet, but we'll listen to Shannon Sharp and Kirk Franklin. All right. Kirk Franklin. This is not this clip right here. Right here.
We just looking at the booty. We're looking at the breast. We're looking at her neck. We're looking at her feet. We're looking at her.
No, I ain't looking at no feet. Man, ain't nobody looking at no feet.
You don't looking at feet? I'm looking at feet.
Okay, here we go.
What are your thoughts on 50-50 relationships?
What does that mean? 50-50 relationships?
You pay half, I pay half.
I'm old school.
See, that's me.
I'm old school. I'm gonna pay for everything.
Oh. But hold on, if you pay for everything, are you expecting old school values in a new school woman? Because that's not how they're wired.
But they can be. I think that every woman would be grateful for a man to step up and take leadership in the right way. The problem is the lack of love, compassion, and the lack of still having a voice in your significant other is the thing that we as men fail at.
All right. So we got, again, most times if you have this conversation, unfortunately, people will say black people still having this conversation. All right. But black people have the worst marriages on record in America. So, yes, this conversation is going to go on. And I don't think men or women want to give up an inch here. Nobody wants to budge. So now he's saying you got new school value woman out here with her own job and career, but you're paying 100% of the finances. That doesn't make sense. You actually have women that tout in this community. They're doing better financially and also better educationally. So how are you doing 100%? And she's like that. Well, Kirk Franklin says, well, there could be some woman out there that would enjoy this for a period of time. All right. For a period of time, you can get this out of her, but men fail in the love and compassion. They go to controlling and abusive. All right. So let's see what we got here. Let's see if he can continue.
It's because there is this authoritarian mindset that we also have that if I'm contributing and leading everything, that I contribute and lead everything.
Right.
But there still should be an equal voice and an opinion and view that we must consider, that we must acquiesce to at times, because there's a wisdom and a knowledge that a woman brings to the table that we benefit from.
All right. So there was the, again, all of these conversations seems to have the men holding the L here. All right. So the men have to understand how to properly work a 100% relationship, and the men fail, so the women have default 50-50. That's what he's saying. The women have no choice because the men goes full authoritarian and doesn't love and compassion. So the woman feels controlled. So therefore the 50-50 is a buyout. She's buying her way out of that control. She's buying her way out of these duties, so she doesn't get controlled. All right, so that's what they're saying on that one. All right, let's go to the next one here. This is, I believe, Steven again. On another, is this Steven? No, this is another woman named Steph Coe. All right, and this is where she's talking about Gabrielle Union goes 50-50 on household finances, and Twitter isn't having it. Women overwhelmingly objected to it. Let's see what this woman has to offer to the conversation about this.
The first, Gabrielle Union is a Black woman. And traditionally, Black women have not always had the history or had the privilege of being in relationships where they are 100% provided for, especially compared to women of other ethnicities and other cultures. Black women have always been expected to, in some way or another, work outside the home. And they've always been looked at as, I want to say, co-providers instead of people that can really sit back and expect to meet someone that will provide for them 100%. And this is sometimes due to that person's choice to not be there, to not support their family, and to not support their wife or their female partner in the situation. And this can also be due to social situations and realities outside of that person's control. But regardless, when you talk about the history of Black women in committed partnership relationships, specifically in committed heterosexual relationships, the financial history is not always great.
Okay, there's pretty much very little financial history of women being, Black women, in 100% relationships. Although we do hear women asking for it. For Black women, they're asking for this. They want it. They're looking for it. In my experience, just my experience, all right, I'm here saying that they're almost incapable of doing it. Number one, they don't have the history of it. Number two, if they are willing to do it, a family member's going to talk them out of it. All right, it's always going to, somebody else is going to talk them out of it naturally. So their family doesn't have a history of doing this. They don't have mommy as Betty Crocker or motherfucking Leave It to Beaver's mom, June Cleaver. Their grandmama wasn't like that. Neither was their mama. Neither was their sisters and cousins and uncles. So, or aunties. So if she does come to the table and says, I want to be 100%, you take care of all the bills, more likely there's going to be a problem. There's going to be some defense mechanism that she's going to have. Well, I keep my own money and I'm going to work full time and I'm not going to be a school marm and I'm not going to give up my career. They're not going to relinquish what you would need to make it beneficial to have a 100%. You cover the expenses. They're like, I ain't going to be a stay-at-home mom and I ain't giving up my career. They're going to back out of it because naturally this demographic doesn't have history where they have several generations of doing this. So now it's, nah, I ain't never going to put a man. Oh, remember, like this woman said right here, we've been conditioned right here. Our parents encouraged us to be more independent and wait to have a family. Now society shames us for it. Women will experience levels of shame for being this. And this not exclusive to Black women. Working class white women go through this as well. Where if their family is working class, their family is going to almost admonish them for being in a subservient role. Hey, your job is to work. If they have a parent that values working, no matter if it's the son or the daughter, the parent will be like, I didn't raise you to be a stay-at-home mom. I raised you to go work at the fucking Dairy Queen and be the manager. They rather their daughter work at the Dairy Queen and make an honest living than to be under a husband. Yes, working class white women go through this, and even poor class white women will go through this, where they'll be adverse to a 100% relationship. They'll always try to seek out the world. They'll try to go out to the outside world, and that's when they'll get their true accomplishment. Now, again, I'm not here to say women should do this. It's far too gone. We live in a world where 77% of women work at least part-time. But I often find that these jobs are unstable. They're prone to layoffs. They're prone to be described as non-essential working jobs. They tend to get kicked back and moved around departments and kicked around the department. They tend to be DEI hires. These are not stable careers. These are a series of jobs. Meanwhile, you've given up your household in the two-income trap. And this woman thinks she's working for the world, but she's just working for a man. Oftentimes, her bosses will be other men. So this is what happens where this woman will have more loyalty and allegiance to her male boss than her husband. Now, tell me I ain't lying. This woman will be dressed up, loyal to her male boss. She will talk to her about her male boss as her fucking hero. You, on the other hand, she will criticize your ass anytime she wants. And you're like, I'm paying 100% of the bills for this, and you holding on to your $50K salary? Like, you holding on, you controlling that $2,500 a month, and I'm over here busting my ass, and you're complaining to me, but you're working for a whole male boss that you're like, my male boss is fantastic. He's the boss. They won't call your ass the boss, right? So these women love their male master outside the house. Sometimes they be fucking on them too, but that's neither here nor there. Meanwhile, you can't get no punani. She don't dress up for you. She don't do shit for you. And you covering all the bills. This is why it's the argument about the 100%, which we may do another day this week, doesn't make sense as well. All right, we have this guy again. He's going to talk about the reason, number one, 50-50 is not real. Let's go ahead and play him.
In most cases, the 50-50 isn't even real. Here's what I mean. Let's first start with from the standpoint of financially, okay? A lot of people will say, we're going to go 50-50. And let's say the mortgage is $2,000. And so 50-50 is, well, you put 1,000, they're 50-50. You put 1,000, I put 1,000. We're 50-50. That's not real 50-50 as far as I'm concerned. Because if the man makes $100,000 and the woman makes $50,000, they are not making the same sacrifice by paying $1,000. What would actually be a more accurate 50-50 is if both parties paid 20% of their salary, or let's just, for the sake of me doing easy math, 10% of their salary towards this bill. So in this case, his 10% would be 1,000, her 10% would be 500. And again, I'm just using random numbers, not random numbers, but I'm just basing it off the yearly salary, okay? That's only $1,500, so we need 500 more. But you get what I'm saying here. The point is, it's the percentage, because now it is an equal sacrifice. And here's the reality. In many cases, the person who has a lot more money, it's so basically, if I'm only making $50,000 and my partner's making $100,000, they may be at a point where they have way more disposable income than I do. So that 1,000 don't hurt like it's gonna hurt me at the 50 level that might have less disposable income. So again, it's not really 50-50. But let's move on to a different example. Let's say when it comes to taking care of the kids, okay? One, it's extremely hard to quantify an even split of time being given to the kids, when the kids need this, when the kids need to be fed, all these things. So again, not really 50-50. But then here's something else that I have seen, all right? It won't apply to everyone, but I've seen it and I know it happens in many cases. It's the fact that even if you're trying to split time with the children, you may have way more instances where the children simply want mommy. That's it. They don't want daddy right now. They want mommy. All right. Now, of course, there's some scenarios where they might want daddy more than mommy. But I think if we surveyed people, we'd probably find it tends to be more they want mommy than daddy. So the woman naturally ends up having to give more time and attention to the children, on top of her having to take care of everything else 50-50. So we're already seeing it doesn't have that proper or that actual 50-50 split.
I can do some shuffling too. Look out, man, what you gonna do? Look out, boys, it's coming through. Yeah, man, yeah, man.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch. Cut that bitch off. Next caller.
Now, gentlemen, and look how you look it up to the right, up and to the right. He grasping shit out of his arse. He's grabbing. I wonder, I don't know why I don't have 1 million followers on YouTube. Like, these dudes out here crazy. Let's just say 2% of 21 minus 5% of 12. Well, you know the numbers I'm talking about. And then let's just give a case scenario where the kids want the mommy first. Like, okay. All right. But as you can see, this scorekeeping does not work. It is not healthy in relationships. It is not healthy. All right. This woman says right here, most women will have to go 50-50 to get a good man. All right, so here we go. Okay, here we go right here. Most women will have to go 50-50.
Us women need to accept that to get a good man, we are going to have to go 50-50 financially in our relationships. Ladies, I know you're mad. Stay with me, please. Please do not let this ridiculous social media narrative fool you. This narrative that men have to have it all together and have to be able to pay for your whole lifestyle, a luxury lifestyle at that, before they are worthwhile human beings. Because honestly, that mindset is trash and it's not realistic. And I'm not saying this because I can't get one of those men. Because A, very few of those men exist. B, the ones that do exist are not accessible to a lot of women. And C, at that level, those kind of men often tend to be super, super entitled, disrespectful, and really see women as commodities to be used and traded. And the reality is a lot of men at that level are headed to jail at some point, maybe not today, but at some point in their life, either through the way they got the money or the way they used the money. For most men, the majority of men, they are pretty much in the corporate or the business world where they're growing their own business. And these men are either in the point of their life where they're growing their career or growing their business. That does not happen overnight, especially if you are doing things legally and by the book. And ladies, if you want a man that you want to build a life with and start a family with, I would encourage you to get with a man who is doing things pretty much legally and by the book. And the truth of these kind of men is you do not start, your career or your business and make a lump sum tomorrow. That is why I think it's the top 1% starts from like 100 grand. So outside of that top 1% is 99% of men. It takes a lot of hard work and dedication to make a large amount of money. So even if you meet a man in his 20s, in his 30s, even in his 40s, he might not be there yet. And in reality, as long as a man is trying, there is nothing wrong with him not being exactly where he wants to be. There is also nothing wrong with you getting your bread up and you working towards being a 1% earner, if that's what you want for your life. Because I'm sorry to say, ladies, a lot of us are sitting out with our hand out, waiting for a meal ticket, waiting for a man to fund our life and our lifestyle. It is really important as a woman who wants to be part of a successful relationship and possibly family to understand the concept of partnership. And it's really unfortunate because I think the narrative is that women have made it seem like if a man is paying all your bills, you're special. And if a woman doesn't have a man paying all her bills, she's less than. No woman is less than you because she understands that she has to contribute to her life and her lifestyle.
All right, so essentially he's saying the numbers don't favor women that want a man that does 100% of the bills. So I tend to agree with that. The numbers don't favor women, and it doesn't favor men as well, because men, it slightly favors men, but of course it doesn't favor you either because of the repercussions of the inside of the relationship. She's talking about getting a man and then helping him build. But also, she's also going to say she can get some money, get her bag, get financial independence. But we already determined that this is going to put you in a negative scenario. You're going to go friend zone and roommates. Friend zone roommates. All right, people tend to agree, no matter what side of the argument, friend zone roommates right here. Resentment. Okay, arguments. This person said the 4 horsemen of divorce. Criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling. So it kind of create arguments. So while her argument does make sense, she's saying at the beginning, you're going to have to accept the 50-50 guy. That doesn't mean it's going to work. All right. That doesn't mean it's going to work. She's saying numerically, y'all not getting a 100% guy. So you're going to have to take a 50-50 guy. I'm pretty sure women in there is going crazy. Her name is With Love Bets on TikTok. This woman says, I can do it all by myself. I'm with you when you write, but no, please don't settle for 50-50 right there. First comment, nope. They said, nope. This woman says 50-50 are roommates, which we actually determined here. My question is, are women willing to settle for less if he's paying 100% of the bills? Like, say, for instance, he's able to pay it, but he only makes $4,000 a month, not $20,000. This one says right here, so proud of the girlies in the comments. No 50-50 for us. These girls are proving her right. A lot of people don't want the truth. We are filling our heads with fantasies, all right? So she agreed. This one says, I'd rather just, this is where we got the problem. I'd rather just be single and pay 100% of my bills than go 50-50. Oh, no. Again, when they don't have it their way, she said, fuck it, I'll pay 100% of my bills. You ain't going to pay 100% of your bills, ma'am. You're going to sell peace leave on the side. This one says, my man makes less than me and still don't 50-50 me. What about that dynamic? Where's Steven on that one? This one says, in the courting phase, absolutely no 50-50. In a relationship, I'd rather us just live separately and take care of our own bills at this point. Ooh. Ma'am, you can go 50-50. Thank you. All right, these women are saying no. No, hope this helps. 50-50 and a good man don't go together. Woo-wee. That's not a good man if he makes you go 50-50. Sheesh.
Pop, pop, cut, cut, cut. Skitty, keep, pop, pop. And a pop, pop,
I see average men being full-on providers just like my dad. Full-on providers just like my dad. You don't have to be rich to be a provider. Okay. I see where you're coming from. However, I believe 50-50 is for child-free couples. I can't risk my life pushing out kids and go through the stress and still expect to contribute the same financially. Oh boy, never go 50-50. You go settle then. This woman says no. They killing her. Love your content, but absolutely not. Oh boy, this is an example of getting ratioed on your own channel. I think the 50-50 conversation is irrelevant if you're using joint accounts. What's mine is yours, and what's yours is mine. Last one, I agree with you, LOL. Maybe it's because I grew up in a 50-50 household, but I generally don't mind it. My man doesn't want me going 50-50. Cool. He wants to go 50-50. Cool. All right, so she didn't matter either way. Oh, man. Good luck. Last one, I think I can go through this quickly here. The case against 50-50. This is an article that I referenced earlier. At first glance, 50-50 should be the best way to advance gender equality in our modern society. And it says right here, it's almost like we've earned the right to contribute, and that shouldn't be taken lightly. But the whole premise of 50-50 distribution relies on the assumption that we're already achieved economic equality with men. Ma'am, don't bring that feminism into my house. This has nothing to do with the rest of the women. So they're saying, and that is laughably untrue. So they're bringing in the feminism. Thanks to the days of women doing all the housework and women earning all the income, and that's long gone. It says right here, still every single year without fail, this says Australian women are shown to be doing unpaid housework right here. Oh, no. Unpaid housework. You guys are cooked. Unpaid housework. This is literally what they're saying. You guys are getting free, unpaid labor from your spouse, from your wife. Women are expected to do most of the housework and shoulder the burden on financially contributing too much now. In a sense, 50-50 relationships is a myth. Because although women may pay their equal share on the numerical bill, men aren't exactly stepping up at home to cover the unpaid labor in the relationship. Okay, let me continue here. It says right here, if this is the case against it, your relationship risks becoming transactional in nature and a constant game of scorekeeping. In theory, if the woman doesn't do housework or fails to do it well enough, Could her boyfriend or husband then justify turning around and saying, I gave you all that money because you were doing housework. Give me my money back. That's clearly problematic. Oh my goodness. This goes against the alley situation. Let's say the case for 50-50. Money is power, and in a long-term committed relationship where the man pays for everything, that's an obvious power imbalance, and it's not in our favor. By distributing expenses unequally, we risk enforcing traditional gender roles and upholding the patriarchy. Yeah, this is definitely a feminist talking. We've long buried the idea of the woman being a hapless damsel in distress who has the inherent inability to provide for themselves, but by allowing men to bear the financial cost of a relationship, we might actually be resurrecting this stereotype from the grave and repackaging it under a more palatable pretense. Wow, man, boy, these feminists out here, they wow, man. Good Lord, have mercy. So she's saying right here, the women that are looking for that are bringing back the stereotype of a woman that cannot handle themselves. It needs to be, woo-wee. Jesus. All right, good luck, man. By the way, world order. This is the internet. When you go outside, it's much different. Yeah, this is the, and matter of fact, all of you guys are outside watching this. When you go outside, it's not like this. That's what the internet tells you. Let's give you guys some super chats. Let's give you guys some super chats. This is why I'm telling you, man, men in the past had it down right. All right. All right. You know what I mean? You got to be down and cold on a broad at this particular point, because these women will talk themselves into circles. Shout out to our brother Jahari says, if we're going to pay 100%, we might as well be free agents. That's the best option for black men. Anything else is for suckers. He says, you prove time and time again, nothing else works. Guys, this is what it is. I mean, guys, nothing else works. I mean, there are some people that make a 50-50 work. There are people making 100% zero work. There are some women making that they support 70%. I mean, people are making it work. But can you start? Can you start today and make it work? Galen says, Coach, can husbands ever be dominant? If so, how? Yes. There are some women that have husbands being the dominant. Let me tell you, when you're in these suburban communities, although you will find a lot of henpecked husbands, there are a lot of women that are like, you know, white women have perfected the art of being the damsel in distress, you know, clutch my pearls, and they perfected this shit. Which means me to believe white women don't want to work, man. I'm gonna tell you, they are the ones. They pulling that I don't want to work shit. Now, when I say I don't want to work, we're talking about outside in the corporate world. White women got it down pat. The next is Middle Eastern women, and then I would probably say the next group behind them might be Asians. All right, Asian women. But I know a lot of power couples in these suburban communities where the woman is the woman, like Asian and white, where the woman will be a lawyer and a doctor, and they still are the feminine. They're not alpha. They don't come out here and be like, I'm a lawyer. I had some female clients that I was shocked that they were big time lawyers. Absolutely shocked. All right. And these are in high end suburban communities. I mean, of course, not all of us can be there. But I remember I had a couple of female clients. Dude, I can name 3 or 4 off the top of my head. 3 were white women and 1 was Asian. And I learned that they were lawyers. I was like, huh? Like 2 or 3 of them, they were soccer moms. And 1 was a ling-ling, and I swear to God, I thought she was a soccer mom. I had no idea. She was this very petite. She had to be 85 pounds, all black hair, right? All black hair, little, cute, docile, right? She looked like the submissive Fabi. You wouldn't even know if you seen her. She wouldn't even know she speak English. She was quiet as a church mouse. She did not talk very much. I trained her in a group of 3 Asian women, and she talked the least. They was like, she a high-powered attorney. I was like, her? And it was like, yeah. And I looked her up. High-powered attorney. She never led with it. She never bragged about it. And I always saw her with a kid. I always saw her. She would take care of the kid. And it's like that. High-powered attorney, man. I was like, damn, I had no clue. She was in her 40s. I mean, she looked good. She was very attractive in an Asian way. She wasn't like, boom. She wasn't like a vixen. She was a good-looking woman, but she was quiet. She's quiet. And I had another woman. It was a white woman. All I seen her driving was a suburban GMC Yukons, like soccer mom. Then she told me, she was like, yeah, I picked up a part-time job. She was a lawyer. I was like, what? She was like, oh yeah, I'm a lawyer. And I just do things and pick up some projects from here and there. And I knew her for years, well, months, and I never knew she was a lawyer. I actually trained another white woman where the dad was the go-getter. Like, he was the guy out there, the hustler. And she was a stay-at-home mom. And then she was like, I'm going to pick up some jobs and this and that. And she picked up a part-time job, and they was working her to death. And she was like, I'm tired of it. They giving me too many hours. I only wanted to work 10 hours a week. And she was a lawyer too, but a soccer mom. Like, I was like, dude, I'm telling you, when you go to the suburbs, you just be like, a lot of these women are highly educated. They're not dense, dumb, dim-witted, less educated trophy wives. A lot of them are mostly attractive. They're attractive in a conventional way. They're not overdoing it, and so forth and so on. I actually trained another woman. She had a whole family law practice that hired like 35 attorneys. Now, she was more aggressive. She was a more aggressive, I wouldn't say she was extra aggressive, but she was more like a dominant, strong woman. She was an older white woman in her late 50s. Like, she was the one that was probably the most obviously dominant woman. But her husband was successful as well. But she owned a law firm. Again, another lawyer. I was like, but these women don't brag about it. They don't lead with it. They don't tell you about it. They don't tell you their husband's dumb because they just work a regular job. It's one of those things that it's like a well-kept secret, and they have their femininity first. That's what you see first. And it was shocking to see that. So again, this idea that these people are providing 100% and the woman had no power, she didn't have no education, she was dumb, it's not the truth. All right, these women do have things in these suburban communities where they can take those years to be with their family, and then they'll transition out of it. Yeah. Right. So there is this power couple dynamic that people see, but oftentimes a woman thinks she can't get out of it because she's just doesn't have the education. She didn't get the opportunities, and she didn't make enough money. So anyway, I found that to be pretty strange that I trained that many female lawyers and they were not full-time lawyers. I think only one or two of the ones that I've trained. The other ones were like part-time and they focused on being a mom. And then once the mom years are over, they'll jump out there. So it is possible. It is possible. Justin Gonzalez says, how come women don't love men with control, but also don't like men with no control? The conundrum. It's the conundrum, gentlemen. I mean, you seen the conundrum in that feminist article that we were reading, right? They can't. If you can get a woman to see it the way that doesn't affect her, where she's only looking out for her. If you can get her to look out for the entire group collective, which is what patriarchy does, and realize there's no even, everybody's got to play their role, then this is going to be a good woman for you until she changes her mind. If she changes her mind, you're screwed. But from our perspective, this is how it has always worked. This was the agreement. But then you have feminists coming here. This is the case for it and the case against it. And she literally put herself in a no-win situation, and it was unfair on both sides. Okay. Yep. It's one of those things. It's like, man, I tell you, most of y'all ain't gonna make it. Most of y'all ain't gonna make it. And really it starts with this. It starts with how you start off, like where you start off. Unfortunately for black men, where your problem is most of us start at a deficit naturally. Then you also have on top of that, you're probably single mother raised. So your financial starting point is in your 30s. If you're fucking lucky. 35, maybe 40. If you didn't commit a crime, get a divorce, and have a kid out of wedlock. Most black men's financial starting point is 30, 35, or 40. Other people's financial starting point, and particularly who-ish is white folks, their financial starting point might be at their 18s, maybe 20, 25, once they get rid of the cocaine and the weed, and they clean themselves up and get the corporate haircut, and they get hired by their family for their first nepotism job. Like if they're middle class, their financial starting point is at a different point, so that they're not starting in the hole, so that if they want to pursue a relationship, then they can pursue it and they have a starting point that is ahead of a lot of other guys. Same things with Asians. Asians and Jews, their financial starting point is in their teens. And this is being very general. Their financial starting point is in their teens because of the culture. So they get the head start. They know where the pitfalls are. And typically the culture is facilitating these type of behaviors between men and women. And they get to go on and they jump out there. Okay. But black men, yeah, and sometimes Latino men, depending on how y'all come over. You never know how y'all get going. It could be financial starting point at teens, or it could be financial starting point. You never know. Theirs could be all over the place once they stop drinking all those cervezas and tequila. He said, you mean hide the coca? Yes, they got to hide the coca. All right, but yes, they don't get rid of it. They just hide it. And they hide all their addictions. So it's a starting point where everybody's starting point is different. And then the black community has two 50-year-old men. Like, think about this. This is how ridiculous this is. These are two men in their 50s talking about 50-50 relationships. Like, if this doesn't prove my point, if this doesn't prove my point, this is the black community in a nutshell as to why black men ain't gonna never get this corrected, because these men are in their 50s talking about 50-50 relationship. Show me one who-ish or Asian man in their 50s talking about 50-50 relationship. Why? Because these men just hitting their strides financially. Nobody talking about 50-50s, and they already done raising kids, who-ishes, and upper class waspy white people and Asians. They already done raising kids and been out, and they empty nesters ready for retirement. Asian people walking around with Canon and Nikon cameras around their neck. All right, they good. They already put kids through college, and ninjas is talking about 50-50 relationships at 50. Like, it's just a bad starting point. These men typically get a bad starting point, right? Single mother raised, broken family, also any toxic relationship they've been through, anything related to probation or the penal system, as you will, anything related to any setback, bad spending choices, not working, not being encouraged to work and separate yourself from the pack. So now, you getting started at 35. 35. Ninjas don't buy their first house until they 38 and 40. They don't finish paying off one car. They ain't never bought a new car in their life. All their cars are being used, jalopies. And now at 50, 50-50 relationship. Like, this is pathetic. But of course, hey, it is what it is. All right, it is culture. Culture means it dictates a lot. We have Tranisha in the building. Shout out to our sister, Tranisha. Black women have a stigma against birth control. That's why you see a lot with 3 kids before 21. And then pretend the birth control makes them gain weight, not pregnancy. Wow. So my question is, why don't men say the deal's nick until marriage instead of leaving it to women? Men can control women with sex. I see your question. I like Tranisha's questions because they are oftentimes, they're not a dig at us. She does ask honest questions. They're oftentimes, she's asking legitimate questions, and They're from her bias. Obviously, she's a woman and she watches the show. She's saying right here, there's a stigma against birth control in the black community. They didn't go full Margaret Sanger. Black women's birth control has turned to early termination of pregnancy. All right, but birth control does affect people differently. So yes, it does make them gain weight and potentially have breakouts or prevent breakouts. There's a lot of stuff going on there. But she's saying, why don't the men control their salami and Johnson and wait until marriage? Well, we don't have in terms of, you're talking about black men specifically, the culture does not call for that. The culture typically is hypersexuality. There are 13-year-old boys running around middle school playgrounds talking about their body count. Right? We've all been there, young black men, right? Where we walked around 6th grade talking about how many women we fucked. Right? I mean, I'm just letting you know. That's what the culture is. The music, the hypersexuality, the movies, and the expectation that black men have got it on is there early. And the player, the Mac, I got all these bitches, that's there. So you're not going to have a culture that facilitates the men to have some sort of Johnson control. I'm not making excuses. You just have a lot of hypersexuality. And you have a lot of broken homes where the moms aren't there. And so you have time and space to get knocked up, to get some punani. Because every young man, the biggest thing that they have to worry about is getting some sex. Black men, from as young as 10, 12, 13 years old, they talk about they've been with 8 girls and you ain't never seen them. They've been with 10 women and ain't never touched a piece of a cat. Okay? Then they in high school talking they've been with 10 women. Then they in college talking about they've been with 20. And then they mad when a woman has a body count over 2 and she 20 years old. Ugh. But I don't think men can control women with sex at all. Not in particularly, not most men. We got our brother here. It is JC says, you mean to tell me that Cardi let another ninja hit that dangly thing in the back of her throat? Allegedly. Shout out to our brother here. It is in league I trust. Hey, coach, I want to get your opinion on this. If a woman asks you to pay her a specific amount to stay at home, should your response be by saying, if you can show me that you can earn that same amount of money in the workforce, then I would consider it. It is dependent, right? It is dependent on, it's dependent as to what you would offer her back. I think you have to give her a specific role. And just depending on where you live, is that going to be that amount? Sometimes dudes they agree to have a woman stay at home well before the money is really counted. So it says right here, if you pay her a specific amount, this is a woman that is probably well advanced. I believe there's almost no amount that you can pay her to stay at home these days. It's not, what amount? Ladies, is there an amount that you would stay at home and give up your career and your career projections? What amount would that be? 4,000, 5,000, 6,000? I once had a woman say this, and I kid you not. She said, in order for me to give up my career, the husband would have to be paying me in excess of $10,000 to $20,000 a month. Now, she's not saying paying her. That's what she would have to have access to. Meaning that's what would have to be the supporting the whole thing. Now, of course, this was an older woman. She was in her late 20s, early 30s. And she was a good looking woman. She was attractive. She was like $10,000, $20,000 a month. Like, he would have to be making a lot of money. It's just that's her expectation and needs and requirements. Will she find a guy to do that to her? She was attracted enough to do it. But, most of us will actually probably we don't have that access. We don't have the money for that. Because she was like a trophy wife looking girl. Like if you married her, she would be a trophy wife. It was a black woman and she was good looking, trophy wife. Right here. But yeah, it's a lot of money and I don't think we have it because you're also thinking for her where she's thinking she's giving up her independence, Like the woman said, she's pushing babies, wrecking her body. She's also putting herself in a position where she doesn't have a financial future. A lot of people don't realize this. This is a woman that you have to retire. You have to support. She doesn't build any Social Security. She doesn't build any 401k. So she's looking at all of that. She's not looking at quitting her job because she only makes $3,500 a month. You don't replace that. She's looking at what she needs in order to. It just depending on who you ask and where you live, to be honest with you. There are some people, right? There are some people that making crazy money and women will do that. It is what it is. And somebody mentioned this, hormones raging of young men where they want to go out there and have sex with a lot of women. One thing that prevents certain cultures of having sex with a lot of women is a 2-parent household. This has been proven. So let's say you got suburbanite of any race and you have an inner city group of people, any race. If the mom's at home working at the fucking bread bakery, right? She works at the Wonders Bakery and she works the 3rd shift. She's a single mother. Guess what? The likelihood of her son getting someone pregnant or her daughter getting pregnant is extremely high. Why? Because she's like, well, they grown. They can take care of themselves and they can make mac and cheese and hot dogs and dino chicken nuggets and tombstone pizzas and Hot Pockets. All right. They going to be fucking. Them kids are going to, they're going to wait till mama to leave. And then the girl going to be out in these streets tipping. Now, if you have a suburban kid, 15, 14, and that kid has to come home and go to football practice and go to tutor and they have to go out and probably have a part-time job and go to daddy's work to learn, right? Then the mom is always at the crib. The mom is always at the crib. Like a stay-at-home mom or she get home at 5 and she at the house. And then when he goes to go have sex with his girlfriend, their mom is at the house. They're gonna have to figure out how to get that privacy. They're gonna have to figure out how to get that privacy, which is going to be tough. They're going to have to think and put up with a whole bunch of shit and go to Lover's Leap and Lover's Lane. They're going to have to figure out how to get that in. And it ain't going to be easy because mom and dad going to be like, where you at, son? You got fucking violin practice at 8. And you in bed at 9:30 with milk and cookies. Turn all your technology off. Turn your phone off. Like, it just depends. Yeah, he says, I grew up in the suburbs and was a latchkey kid. Now, you must have had a black mama out there put you out there. They got duties and chores, and mom want to know how your day was. Some parents know how to keep their kids busy, so they ain't out there doing that. Some parents think, the kids will make right decisions, and they make the wrong one. But if a parent's always home, they're less likely going to fuck their girlfriend at the house. So they're going to have to use the tool shed. They're going to have to use the back seat of a Jeep. And even then, these HOAs and school moms going to be watching. Police ain't got nothing to do but bang on your window. All right, kids, that's enough. Shout out to J. Cruz, coach. Can we finally just say it? ABBA and Preach promote normie talking points to passive weak men. ABBA is best friends with Destiny. He says they teach men should be average. They offer no value to men. Their platform is just gossiping. Blue Pill Mitch Ninja love their message. And Mitch Ninjas love their message. They are the ops. I don't take it that seriously. I look at it from the content creator's position is they're capitalizing on the marketplace of the anti-masculine red pill. That's all I look at it. All right, so they aren't the ops per se. All right, I don't look at it that seriously. I just look at it from the content creator's position. They're taking a stance on that side. I will bet you a steak dinner that if they wasn't on a stream and we were just chilling, we would probably agree with each other more than we disagree. 100%. All right, that's what I believe. But that's just me. I'm not out here trying to be like data ops and I need to shoot them down and attack. I guarantee you if I was hanging with them, we would be laughing and sniggling. And nobody would be offended at anything. That's just how I look at it. All right, and they're capitalizing on the marketplace, the people that hate that particular model of man. Yeah. All right, shout out to our brother Rod Henry in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you. Brooklyn Bay says, Coach, I'm out in Istanbul, Turkey. He says, I've been on a mission to get my finances, my fitness, and living the free agent lifestyle. Now I'm getting my hairline back like Jalen Rose. And you're doing good. Shout out to you. Abel says, as the coach always says, hold on for a second. He says right here, as the coach always says, no marriage, no cohabitation, or long-term relationships. Why? Because any other way, the man will always be the loser. Don't overthink it. Read his book. Thank you, sir. Rod says, fellas, never go 50-50. Go 100% and ensure your rules are followed, or get rid of her with prejudice. You must be compassionately heartless and commit to your standards and principles. Enjoy the free agent lifestyle and embrace villainy for sure. Villainy. It's hard for me to say. I believe, in my opinion, the 100% gives you more leverage. It gives you the leverage that you need. But people would disagree with me. Kid Chameleon, at the end of the day ends. Regardless of the relationship style, women want 100% from men and 0% from them. It just matters how quickly she can get there. 100%. Shout out to the women that's saying, I pay for, you always have those women out here. I pay for my man's. Johnny says, Coach, I just got served with some divorce papers. Can you recommend a ninja, a good attorney in the Las Vegas area? Oh, shit. I'd have to look at that. You'd have to email me for that one, because I haven't dealt with many family law attorneys in Las Vegas. That's a co-sponsorship. Sheesh.
I'm rich, bitch.
Man. Sorry to hear that, brothers. Hey, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. You can get got at any point in this marriage game.
Gotcha, bitch.
You can get got. Somebody says Saul Goodman. Is that a real boy? Is that a real name? All right.
I'm not going to say what race, what people. We know I can't say that.
Sorry to hear that. You guys, you can get got out here. And it can happen that fast. What's wrong with my stream? He said, give him the book. No man's safe out here. That's the thing, man. We could talk about this 50-50 and 100%. When divorce come up, my guys, that conversation is out the window. Out the window. It's done. It's done. There's nothing you can do. You scrambling and scraping for shit. All right. And again, people will always want to say, well, not every relationship ends in divorce, but the ones that do, the man gets buried. More than likely, it's going to get ugly. Woo, wait. Yeah, man, I gotta get going. NGN says this is one reason why I actually prefer Asians and avoid BWs. Asians actually have a community and have a better starting point in life with a business and an excellent mindset. Family first and no money, no honey, aka everything is transactional and they're honest about it. And they also look sideways when it comes to you getting some side piece leave, right? Right. So that's even there too. And can you explain the origins of BWs acting like men and then looking like trans and overall negative reputation? I was shocked when I heard before the welfare state, blacks were the most married and had class, unlike today. Oh, before the welfare state, blacks black were the most legally married. They were more likely to be married than whites. But that changed in 1965. I wrote about this 1964, the Civil Rights Act, where it then empowered women to become more independent and, dependent on the government, right? New Deal but these marriages were necessary. When you have people surviving, they were necessary. That didn't mean the relationships were better. I mean, that didn't mean that there was no affairs, and that didn't mean blacks had black men have more money than black women, and black women just didn't have an out. And you see, when they got their first out, they ditched the men. And they've been trying to ditch the men since forever. Even Kamala Harris, they've been trying to, I've been saying this for a long time. No shade against black women. I really don't care about y'all and the means to shade y'all. I'm on the West Coast and I have plenty access to a whole bunch of women. So I'm not missing you guys at all. And I don't have it to where there's a majority of you around me that I'm like, what am I going to do? But there's no doubt about this. I want you to listen to this. Black men and black women are two separate racial categories. I've been saying that forever. And really, y'all never had black men. You've never owned black women. You've never had, they were never your women to begin with. Now, people are going to disagree with me and make this out to me being an Uncle Tom. They were never your women at all. There's only a short period of history where you had them as your women, and you could barely say that. That was the 1940s and the 50s. You could barely even claim that. They were never yours. You guys are two separate racial categories. Y'all might as well separate right now. You guys are a broken people. You've been enslaved. You've been entrapped and ensnared by the supremacy of the white folks, of the Europeans here. Y'all never been independent. Y'all never been together. I don't know what the fuck y'all looking at. Y'all live in death and despair in some of these communities. Y'all never really thrived. They never really worked together as a couple or a group. It is a very small chance. I mean, maybe through reconstruction. What are you talking about? Y'all never been together. They belong to Massa. That's who they belong to. They don't belong to black men. You guys are separated, fractured group of people, and the first to go are the spoils of war, the women. Now, you guys, unfortunately, it hasn't been a violent war per se. It's just been an elongated. Right? It's been an elongated. The women belong to the victors. To the victor goes the spoil. Black women belong to white men, and that's how it goes. Now, they don't belong to them in marriage. They belong to them in rights and property and in welfare and whatever the fuck they doing, the legal system and so forth and so on. They belong to the overseer. Those men are their master. That's their masters, right? And they tried to push Kamala Harris up there, and boy, if she won, they would have told you it. We don't have to listen to you Negroes anymore. I mean, now that's just my opinion on it. I wish it was different, but that's how I look at it. They never yours. They belong to the government and the corporations and the mass. They belong to them. They've been belonging to them since I don't know when. When did they belong to you? Not during slavery, not during Reconstruction. Not during the Civil War, not during Reconstruction. They certainly want yours. Not through Jim Crow, not through the Harlem Renaissance, not through the mass exodus of Bamas going all over the country in the 1950s, not during the Civil Rights Movement, not during the 1980s with Oprah and affirmative action, not during the 2000s, and not during the day. They don't belong to you. So y'all better find some new women out here. Now, you belong to them more than they belong to you. I'm going to say that again. You belong to them more than they belong to you, meaning that they believe they could tell you what to do and they could whippersnapper. They can snap you back when they want to. They're under your control. I'm sorry. You're under their control, but it don't work vice versa. They're not under your control. They get to tell you about yourselves, but the minute you tell them about themselves, they ain't hearing that shit. So that's just how it works. Okay. Anybody disagree with me, go off. But I believe that that's inherently as a total group. That's how it works. And it's been working like that since I've been in middle motherfucking school. I mean, that's how it works. You can have some one-offs and all that, but that's how it works as in whole. And we've seen that across the board. We've seen that during this election. All right, you belong to them. They don't belong to you in every single way. All right. All right, so give it up, guys. I don't know what to tell you, bro. Go out there. Go travel. Go do something. And I can't explain so much, man. Can you save these questions not to the end of the show? All right, because I'm ready to go out of here. I'm hungry. But he says, can you explain with family first class winner mindset died in America as Gen Z? I remember when I was a kid, money couldn't buy class. It will take you far in life. People got bothered by the topic in school. Yeah, this is way too late. I'm hungry. I'm done. 8 hours of streaming today. Tranisha says, hi, chat. What's dumber than my question is having two fat baby mama terrorists or no money, no assets, and you're the victim because someone gave you access to sex. You are not allowed to refuse. I personally think they should reduce the welfare state to unwed mothers. I agree too, Trinicia. But I can't make these things happen, right? I believe that the welfare state has been dramatically drastic to working class and poor communities, in which those are the primary people that fight people tooth and nail for small amounts of money, absolutely ruining families, ruining any chance at building any wealth. Now, I can't control you lemmings. You guys are going to fight everybody tooth and nail. Wise L says another thing that black men have to overcome is supporting family. It says right here, I'm 25 and just cracked 100K, but my family acts like I made $1 million. Yeah. Again. So once you make it out, then they think that you owe them something. Justice says, are men in Salt Lake, are men SLUTs, or are they slut makers? They're slut makers. Kevin Sullivan said, what's up, coach? He says, I've been listening to you for so long and soaking up the game. I got great whiskers coming through my mustache. Appreciate the wisdom, great Coach Alini. Thank you, sir. Got a couple more. Thank you for the support. But yeah, man, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I only wanted to do 2 hours this evening. I'm getting a stomach cramp. I'm always hungry, man. I am starving out here, man. I'm hungry.
I'm always hungry.
I'm about to pass out.
All I spend my money on is food.
I'm about to pass out. I don't want to pass out on the air. Mr. Inquisitive, coach, I remember your words of wisdom. Never mess with a woman who says she's depressed. Met this fine-ass woman who wants to hang out, but she said to me that she's bipolar and schizophrenic. I have to decline. You're going to try to still get that punani, though. You're going to still try to get that punani.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
Yes, sir, brother. All right. My man says she's depressed and has schizophrenia. Damn. Man, that's tragic. I mean, unfortunately, though, a lot of women find out if she's actually diagnosed with it or if she's self-diagnosed. Either way, it's a red-ass flag. It's a red flag. All right, let me see here. I'm going to make sure I got everybody before I get out of here because I got to literally get something to eat. All right, look. Oh, man, that's sad. A lot of women are mental health disorders, so especially if they're liberal, you in bad shape out here. I'm out of here. Shout out to y'all, man. Peace.